Tonight will star David Ellis, Kenny Hess, and Tristan Yolton.
Looking back on the life that you're leaving, let it rest in a hole in the ground. Stick around for the great revealing, or the fire you've been dancing around. All we hear is the sound of retreating. No one cares where you're coming from. My ears are still ringing and beating. I guess we all knew from the start. These are the days my heart goes numb. You know, one of these days will be the one. Looking for answers. Oh, what a disaster. These are the days my heart goes numb. My heart goes numb. Breathing the fumes of the ashes, the spirits light up the night. Looking down the edge of
We're live from the Untold Radio Network. It's Untold Radio AM with Monster Quest producer, host Doug Hajicek, and co-host Jeff Perrella Jr. Untold Radio AM is going live right now. This show is for entertainment purposes only. Yep, that's the ticket. Now here are your Untold Radio AM hosts, Doug Hajicek and Jeff Perrella Jr.
Hello, everyone.
Happy Easter, everybody. It's almost over. I can see the sun setting
Yeah.
from where I am. It's been a crazy day.
Yeah, I had a busy weekend. Traveled, got back this morning, and yeah, I'm a little wore out.
Yeah, I guess we'll live.
Yeah,
We'll get our energy back once we get some
sure.
stuff going here.
Absolutely.
Anyhow, so yeah, thank you everybody for coming. We know it's Easter. We know you got a million things probably going on today, but we're really happy you joined us.
Yeah,
So
good
we
to see
have
everybody.
We've got a packed show tonight.
Yeah, great guest tonight.
Like really packed. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is episode 292. And we're going to do top 5 countdowns on several things.
Yeah,
One guest, Will Starr, is going to do top 5 historical Bigfoot encounters.
mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about other things, but that's one of the reasons he's on. And then David Ellis is going to come on with top 5 sound files
Mm-hmm.
of this creature that we're all after. And then we have Tristan Yolton and Kenny Hess, who have are going to be involved in some new information that we're going to release on the hum, the buzz.
Yeah, looking forward to
As
that.
David calls it, the hum buzz purr.
Yeah,
So he calls it HBP. So remember that term. Because we can't quite, we can't really define it as one.
right.
So he calls it everything.
It's an unusual sound, that's for sure.
Yeah, but so we're going to get into some basically biblical writings about this, which is really interesting. And this was brought to my attention by Nick Risch, if I'm pronouncing Nick's name right. Anyhow, so, and then Kenny Hess has recorded some of these hums recently.
Mm-hmm.
So anyhow, we're just going to have a whole kind of brouhaha about all sorts of topics.
I like brouhaha.
Yeah, it'll be, and so bear with us tonight. This is our Easter special, and I think we can just get going once people get a chance. Go turn your lights down, hop in that comfy chair, grab some hard-boiled Easter eggs.
Yeah.
They make nice, and a salt shaker
Yeah.
and a beverage.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it.
Good. I'm just drinking water.
Yeah, I'm not saying it. And a beverage. And you're going to get a lot of food for thought tonight, so I promise that. So let's do our weird and fast news first.
Fast and weird news.
Fast and weird.
All right, here we
Weird
go.
and fast.
It's time for weird and fast. Yeah! It's time for weird and fast news.
So apparently we're going back to the moon, or are we going to the moon for the first time? Not sure.
Right.
But apparently they're now past the halfway point.
Mm-hmm.
They cannot return
Right.
easily at this point. So it says NASA's Artemis 2 mission has officially launched and is now beyond Earth's easy return zone. Is there such a thing as an easy return? Like a U-turn in space?
Yeah, not easy, but yeah. It's pretty wild. If you've studied what they're doing, it's actually pretty wild. But
That'd be kind of like me getting lost in the Chipotle parking lot. Something
Yeah.
like that. Okay. Anyhow, this is I love this. This is the first time that humans have gone this far from Earth in over 50 years.
Mm-hmm. And
Okay.
further, we're going to go further than humans have ever gone. We're going beyond moon orbit, so we're going further out than humans have ever gone before.
Oh, that's so cool. And it says they are expected to break records by distance traveled by any human crew. You're correct.
Yep.
So what's fascinating is this mission is more than symbolic. It's full of systems tests for deep space survival, including radiation exposure, isolation, long duration, life support. And it's basically a rehearsal for humans living off world.
Yep. Stepping stone to Mars.
Yeah.
Learning how to get out there. There's obstacles, and they're going to figure it out. It's pretty wild.
It's an intimidating rocket. And David Dominique was down in Florida, one of our listeners, and he watched it live.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
wow.
Cool.
Yeah. I can imagine the power that felt like just being anywhere near it. And speaking of space, Congress demands 46 secret UFO videos released. And insiders say, brace yourself. So why do you think they're saying that, Jeff?
I just got a sneaking feeling that disclosure is imminent. A lot of signs pointing to that direction. We're going to find out some strange stuff in the next 6 months.
Do you think some people are going to react like, big deal, I already knew that or suspected that? Or do you think the majority is going to be shocked?
I think a lot of people are just going to not pay attention whatsoever. Just like this moon mission. There's people that just don't even know what's happening.
Don't
which
even
is
know.
Amazing.
Yeah, you're probably right. I think the younger you get, the less they know.
Sensory overload. There's just too much going on.
And then number 3, our third story is solar storm threat looms during the moon mission. And what could go wrong here?
Oh, good.
It's just days before the launch, a powerful solar flare triggered a geometric storm warning that could interfere with the communications, navigation, and even astronaut safety during Artemis 2. Now, I laughed about the navigation because when you just need to kind of point it at the moon.
No, actually, you're hitting a moving target. The moon doesn't stay put. You're hitting a moving target.
Right.
It's orbiting.
That makes
it's actually
sense.
pretty wild. If you the more you read about it, it's pretty wild what they're doing.
So you have to time it. It's a timing issue more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
It says NASA says the risk is manageable, but it's a reminder that space isn't empty. It's active, volatile environment where one solar burst could disrupt an entire mission.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. The sun is trying to shut it down. And then number 4, we have another 100 new alien worlds that have been discovered and announced this week. It says scientists have confirmed over 100 new exoplanets using advanced data analysis techniques, and they believe thousands more are hidden in existing data, waiting to be discovered. So these planets range from Earth-like to completely bizarre, and many sit in the zones where life could theoretically exist. And the real shock, we've probably already found signs of life candidates. We just haven't confirmed them yet.
Yep.
Yeah. Imagine sifting through all that.
Oh, there's so much data to go through. It's crazy. AI is helping.
Yeah, that's true. You got a point. Scientists quietly are testing human health limits in deep space. Did you take that picture, Jeff?
It's an actual picture. I flew up this morning, met the guys. We had a quick beer. I took some pictures and came back just in time for the show.
I was wondering where you were.
Busy morning. Yeah.
I was wondering.
I'm tired, man.
Artemis 2 isn't just about travel. It's about studying the human body in extreme isolation. Astronauts are being monitored for sleep cycles, immune response, and psychological stress while far beyond Earth. This is the first time humans will be studied this intensely outside low Earth orbit. The goal, figure out how long we can survive on the mission to Mars. So there you go. I still couldn't imagine volunteering for that.
I'd do it.
Would you?
Sure. If I was fit enough, absolutely I would. What an opportunity to see.
Get sneak on board.
Yeah.
Be
I
a
don't
stowaway.
think they'd take me. I'm not exactly a health nut. I don't think they'd like me.
Yes, Jeff is a health nut.
Sure.
We got what do they call it? Beer muscle.
Yeah.
As to quote Dale Boswell. Okay. So then we've got story 6. UFOs may be operating underwater, not just in the sky. And I think some of us who are in the know have heard this or even seen it. I've actually seen it. We had some kind of craft come right out of our lake and head right to the clouds.
Yeah.
And that was right after we had one approach the deck, broad daylight. And God, that's spooky thinking those things are living in my lake.
Yeah, crazy stuff going on.
It's nuts. But let's read this story. It says some classified footage reportedly includes USOs, unidentified submerged objects, interacting with military vessels beneath the ocean surface. This has reignited theories that whatever these objects are, they may be using Earth's oceans as cover. Now, I notice they don't mention lakes. No, we'd want to mention lakes. There are no lakes, right? This is, let's see here. It says where detection is far more difficult than in the sky. Yeah, of course.
Yep.
And what's really interesting is that how much of Earth is it's water, right? It's what, 2/3 is water. I don't know the percentage.
Well, especially think of the Pacific. The Pacific is roughly half the globe, and it's unexplored completely. I mean, there's huge areas that there's nothing there.
Apparently,
a desert.
Yeah, apparently they have footage of one of these things going like hundreds of kilometers an hour underwater, which is really crazy. I won't hold my breath. And then number 7, kind of a new discovery. Deep space outflows are moving at 57,000 kilometers an hour have been detected.
Per second, 57 kilometers per second.
Oh, per second. Aren't you?
That's hustling, man.
Good catch. If somebody wants to translate that to miles per hour, that'd be amazing. Somebody in chat. I think somebody's up to it. It says astronomers have detected ultra-fast streams of matter blasting out of a distant galaxy at nearly 20% the speed of light. Whoa. These events appear suddenly and behave more like solar eruptions than anything previously observed. Scientists think magnetic forces, not gravity, may be driving these massive cosmic blasts, rewriting what we thought we knew about black hole environments. So apparently things are happening that we don't necessarily see.
All kinds of crazy stuff.
It's like being sandblasted by what? Antimatter? What is it? What kind
I'm
of
not sure.
what kind of stuff is it? I don't really say.
Just matter. Yeah, could
It's just
got
matter.
stellar dust. Who knows?
And then scientists say we may be already missing signs of life. It says, with thousands of planet candidates now identified, scientists are beginning to admit something surprising, that we may already have data pointing to life, but lack the tools to confirm it. In other words, evidence could already be sitting in our databases, waiting for better technology and new ways to interpret the signals.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes sense, kind of what you said.
Yep.
And I would hope AI could help sort it out.
Yep. Yeah, there's so much unsorted data that just hasn't been looked at.
Yeah. It's kind of like Bigfoot sightings.
Right.
There's a ton of unsorted data there, too.
Yep, for sure.
Weird fact of the...
analogy.
Yeah, let's do our weird fact of the week.
Let's do that.
It's now time for Untold Radio Weird Fact of the Week. That is kind of weird.
All right. And what do you think we're going to talk about? I thought, well, what can we do weird fact of? It's got to be on something Easter related.
Okay.
So I picked grass. And somebody sent me smiley grass pictures. So it says, what looks like tiny smiling faces on blades of grass isn't rain. It's actually the grass smiling, but it can appear that way under magnification when raindrops cling to the grass. They act like little microscopic lenses, bending and focusing light at the same time. The surface of the grass is made up of repeating cellular patterns, tiny structures that can reflect light in symmetrical ways. And when these two effects combine into our brains, we recognize faces, right? But scientists and photographers capturing these effects using macro photography and high-powered microscopy, often with specialized lenses capable of examining close detail. In some cases, they use scanning electron microscopes, SEMs, or advanced digital imaging with light techniques to enhance the contrast, structure, and perfectly placed droplets of water. And suddenly you're looking at a tiny world where physics, biology, and human perception collide, creating what looks like little smiling faces.
Happy grass, which is now legal in some states.
Yeah, it is. Anyhow,
moving on.
We learned nothing out of that. Zero. That was a weird and fast nothing.
Weird and fast. Weird fact. Happy grass.
What kind of
like happy
idiot
grass.
picked that article out? That was me. So
I have no idea. No comment.
Oh my God. What do we got here?
It's a good thing it's not a contest.
No, it's not. Although we really should give away something for Easter, but not in a contest.
Not a contest.
No, just
Not a
give
prize.
it away. Maybe give it away.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, should we do top 5 clips? So this is what's going on. Top 5 clips, and we do have Easter trivia. It's just 5 questions, and then we can just bring all of our damn guests out. Kind of a big panel. So let's just get through these. They're really quick, and it's only 5.
Top 5. Let's do
top 5. We'll start at
top
5.
5.
It's Untold Radio AM. Top 5. The best of the best. Who cares about the rest?
I don't care about the rest.
Yeah, I don't either. And stay out. All right, clip 5 sounds good. This is the first kind of real. That's kind of the skeleton form at this point. But the first real-looking robotic dogs are coming. No cleanup necessary. No hair. No slobber. And no poop. Jeff, we're just some hot glue and some fake fur away from having a real dog.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the top of his head.
Especially with sharp teeth. Okay, that's enough. Yeah, what could go wrong? Having a robot with teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's a great idea.
Yeah, it is a really good idea, I think. All right, then next, as we do our countdown, clip 4, the sound is good. This is really interesting. This is a whale that's been caught in fresh water, it's a small river. It's almost a stream out west near Cascadia. And apparently they're working on a plan to get this whale back out into the ocean. But this is fresh water. Go ahead and play it. It's drawing quite a bit of crowds, as you can imagine.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that is. Clip 3, as we work towards number 1. Sound is good. This is a mad hippo chasing a safari jeep. And this hippo is kind of relentless. She must have laid eggs, Jeff.
Hippo eggs?
Hippo eggs. So he stops, and this hippo says, oh, I guess I can get you. Guarding his eggs. Her eggs.
Nope.
There we go.
Yeah, file that under nope. Hippos are dangerous, man.
Oh, yeah,
No,
they're
thank
the
you.
ones, it's hard to believe, but they kill more people than any other African animal.
Yeah, they are dangerous. Hyper-aggressive, territorial,
Yeah.
fast. Fast in the water and on the ground.
But they're cute.
Terrifying.
They're cute, Jeff.
Sure. I think the babies are cute. The adults,
Jeff,
not so much.
Swear to God, I used to take care of a hippo.
I believe you.
And one time a kid threw a straw down its throat, and I shoved my whole little arm down his throat to get that straw out of there because he was gagging.
Okay.
And I think about it now, and I'm like, I could have been a one-armed dude.
Oh yeah, those
Easy.
straws can crush rocks. They're incredible.
Straw? No, there was a regular plastic straw
Right.
kid threw in his throat.
Yikes!
And I reached in there all the way down his throat to get the straw out.
Nope. No thanks.
Okay. What do we got? Clip 2. Yes. This is the ultimate big boy toy. I had to show you this, Jeff.
I love
I
it.
was impressed because, you can ride on this thing. Go ahead. They're taxiing in there, standing on the wings. All right, we got the idea.
That's crazy.
But what would something like that cost?
Oh man, 10, 20 grand easily. That's expensive stuff.
That's not that bad, but I mean,
That's
it's a lot of money. But
Yeah.
I thought it'd be more, like 200 grand.
I think you're gonna like in the low tens, 10, 20, 30 grand, depending on how complex it are, what kind of motors they are.
Yeah.
They usually have redundant radios, and that expensive RC stuff can get expensive.
That's crazy. All right. Now, clip 1. This is my number 1 pick this week. Sound is good. And I think you get a kick out of this one. I don't think robots will be shoveling anytime soon.
We're not too far away from that, actually. They're getting pretty amazing.
You're gonna need
That's
some.
cool.
They're gonna need some cleats.
Yeah, a little more traction.
Okay. Anyhow, let's skip trivia for now because maybe we could have our guest join in too later on. All right. So let's go ahead and. I don't know how I want to do this. It's too many people to read all of their bios. But Will Starr is a friend. I've known Will for quite a few years, and he has a channel on YouTube that he'll tell you about real quick. And Will is really gotten into the history of early Bigfoot encounters. It fascinates him. He's really into it, and he's kind of an expert on it, as is like Todd Prescott and some other people are. And we'll start out with Will. Let's bring Will on to say hi.
All right. Welcome, Will. Hi.
Hey, how's it going tonight?
Hey, Will.
How you doing?
Doing good.
Thanks for having me.
Scoot up closer, a little closer to the camera.
How's that? Is that better?
Yeah, that's better. And then next we've got, let's see, let's bring on David Ellis. David is a sound expert with the Olympic Project. And David, I'm not sure, is David there? He's there.
There he is.
There
Welcome,
he is.
David.
Hey, David. And
Hey.
David and I work. We work close together.
Yeah.
We talk too much on the phone. Hours sometimes. But we're constantly, we feel like we're making progress. And then next would be Kenny Hess. And Kenny recently was even working with David on some recordings. Kenny, bring Kenny on.
Welcome, Kenny.
Hey, Kenny Hess. And David recently analyzed some of Kenny's sounds. Yeah, we can hear you, Kenny. David recently analyzed. Oh, you're gonna have to turn your volume down on your phone.
I'm on a delay.
Yes, Jeff.
I don't know. Are you?
He's got to turn his volume down. He doesn't have headphones on, so
No.
Yeah, you got to just turn your volume way down, Kenny, on your phone, so it doesn't echo.
Let me see what I can do here to clean that up.
Maybe Kenny can reboot.
All right. Is that helping?
No, we're still here talking. Kenny, can you just escape out of that? Just close the program and come on back in. Can you just escape out of that? Jeff?
Yeah.
You're going to have to lose that signal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you heard me.
Okay. Give him a minute here to get settled.
Okay. Anyhow, and then we've got Tristan Yolton, and Tristan is a researcher out west. Does a lot of work around the Pinchot National Forest, Mount Rainier, and so on. And Tristan recorded a sound that triggered a whole kind of movement and a study by me and David that was the buzz, the hum buzz.
Mm-hmm.
And Tristan, whether he knew it or not at the time, opened a can of worms, as they would say. So thanks for that, Tristan, and come on.
Welcome, Tristan.
Hey, Tristan.
Hey guys, can of worms.
Good to see you again.
Yeah.
Good to see you guys.
Yeah, don't open any more of these can of worms, Tristan.
No, I've had my share of worms.
Yeah, it's too much work.
Somebody else can do it for me.
But you know what? It's growing and growing and growing. And that's this phenomena of Bigfoot's doing the hum buzz purr. And people recording it thinking it's something else when they get their recordings back. They'll record wood knocks and all sorts of screams or whoops. And there'll be this kind of a buzz purr on there like Tristan had. Sometimes while eating.
Yeah.
And so anyhow, we'll be taught. We're going to get into depth on that. And that thing I sent you, did that kind of blow your mind last night?
Yeah. I watched that, and it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It's
So
pretty crazy.
we're going to discuss that. It's kind of a mind-blowing connection.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want? Hey, Kenny.
We're going to discuss that. It's kind of a mind-blowing.
Oh, he's got his volume too
have
loud.
YouTube in the back, like the volume up. YouTube in the back.
I'll mute Kenny till we're talking to him.
Yeah, can you maybe you can even jump off and help him
Hello.
get set up? Yeah, Kenny, we're hearing like YouTube. You got to turn that off.
I can hear you, but I'm still on delay.
Do you have your TV on in the background?
He's watching it on YouTube.
Yeah. That's what I
That's
suspect.
why. Yeah, you got to turn your TV off, Kenny.
Like mute YouTube on
He's
your
got to
end.
talk to us through
Yeah,
this.
Kenny, you got to turn your TV off.
This is why people like our live shows.
Yeah.
Why don't you just shut his camera off
Yeah.
till he can get adjusted? But
Katie,
send
if
him
you can still
send him
hear
a
us,
message, Jeff, please. Okay. Anyhow. All right. Anyhow, where do we want to go here? David and Will. I think I'm going to kind of jump back and forth between you guys.
Sure.
Will has got a lot of knowledge and some of the, the very historical Bigfoot encounters. And so, Will, why don't you take the floor and just tell me how in the world did you, get so much knowledge in all this stuff? Because Will sees so many mistakes on YouTube when people do stories on these old encounters. But how did you gain all your knowledge, Will?
Well, it's just not only on YouTube, it's also on television programs that make it to TV, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. I injured my shoulder. I used to be a golf professional. I used to give golf lessons, and I injured my shoulder really badly, and I had to have surgery on a massive tear of my rotator cuff. So I was in a sling for a long time. I had my own encounter back in 2000, but when I was rehabbing my shoulder, I'm at home, bored, so I go on YouTube and I start looking up the Bigfoot phenomenon. And what really intrigued me the most was the older encounters, like pre-Patterson. Actually, pre-Patterson is the ones that I call historic, the ones from the 1800s on into the early 1900s.
See, so hang on a second, Will. We got to get his volume up better, Jeff.
Sure.
Yeah, we can barely hear you, Will.
Me?
Yeah, you. We can barely hear you. So maybe is that microphone even on? Tap it. Let's hear.
I just turned it up a little bit.
So maybe you can turn it up a little bit, or you can hold it. You can just hold it by the stem and hold it by your mouth.
Okay, like this, better.
Well, no, it's still not good enough.
Let's see here. I got it. I can turn it up to the max here.
Yeah.
There, he's at max volume for my end.
Yeah, so you can literally hold it, but right. I mean, that's a condenser mic. Those got to be really close.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. All right, so you hurt yourself. You had a lot of time on your hands.
Started researching the old time Bigfoot encounters, sightings, whatever you want to call them, and I just got into it. And what really got me going was I wanted to see with my own two eyes on like Google Earth where these things happened, and I'm like, no one's showing us where this stuff is happening. Why not? And a light went over my head, and I said, well, I'm going to do the research, and I'm going to find out exactly where these things happen, so I can look myself on Google Earth and find out where these things, and look for myself where they happen. So I started doing that, and I started making videos, and people really like to see where it happened, I guess. So that's where it took off, and then I started doing one story after another. My first one was probably the Ruby Creek incident.
Yep.
And then, I was really attracted to that one. Don't ask me why, but that was the first one that really caught my attention. And then after that, I researched the Bauman incidents, Micah Mountain, all of the older ones that I would call historic. And I made videos on all of those. Because like I said, I think there's a crowd out there, an audience that would like to see those locations for themselves, So that's basically what got me into it.
Very cool. And you did something with it too. You tried to share it, and you have a channel. Do you want to give that information out right now?
Sure. My YouTube channel's name is called Will Star Monsters and Mysteries, and you can find that on YouTube.
Yeah, they're like small mini docs, I guess.
Yeah, some of them are like 30, 40 minutes long, but other ones are probably 18 to 20, something like that.
Yeah. But I've always been impressed. They're always really good. And, you get into a lot of detail. So let's start. What is maybe the number 5 historical encounter that's really intriguing and that maybe people don't even know about?
To me, it would probably be number 5, the Micah Mountain.
Okay, I've never even heard of it.
You never heard of William Rowe?
William Rowe. Okay, I've heard the name William Rowe. He was the picker and picking blueberries or huckleberries.
No, he was actually hunting. He was hunting, I believe. He took a hike up to the mine site, and Bigfoot is the one that was picking berries that he observed.
Right. He was observing it, eating.
Yes.
Okay.
So Micah Mountain, and because he actually signed an affidavit swearing that this actually happened. Well, why would somebody do that if that really didn't happen? There's the images. Yeah, there's William Rowe himself, and he had his daughter draw an image of the Bigfoot that he saw, and he saw a female Bigfoot, which was kind of interesting. Like when you and that's a newspaper article, I think, picture of what he went through right there. I found that online. He got to within 20 feet of the creature. Well, the creature actually got to within 20 feet of him before it knew that he was there. And then it turned around and walked away and stopped and paused and looked back one time, and then it was gone. Yeah. It was up in some really rugged territory up in the mountain there, and her escape path over the side of the mountain's pretty impressive. I mean, I look at all the terrain, things like that, terrain lines, and she went down a pretty steep grade there to get away.
Not easy to get to.
No, I mean, there's a Bigfoot channel from British Columbia that actually visited that place on my suggestion. I was like, "Hey, you out there? Why don't you go check this place out?" And they did. He's probably in his 30s. I think he's a Forest Service worker, so he's used to walking around and hiking. He said, "Yeah, it was a pretty intense hike to get there."
Very interesting. Do you have a video clip or anything from there?
Or
from your show?
I didn't send it to Jeff because it wouldn't come through in the email.
Right, probably.
But I could send him something if you want.
No, I mean that's fine. No, that's fine. I appreciate the photos were really cool.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna bounce around. I'm gonna bounce to Dave. Then I'm gonna come back to you, Will.
Sure.
By the way, your audio is much better now.
Cool.
Yeah, it's good.
Sorry about that.
Those condenser mics are great if they're like on one of those bands or whatever they call them, those little headsets where they're in front of your mouth. Yeah. But everybody who wears them hanging down, they don't work. It's too far away.
It's got to be around like this.
Yeah, they're condenser mics. Yeah. They work from 3 inches, not 10 inches. So, that just for future guests to know. Hanging mics, no, they're no good. Okay, David.
Yes.
We've been doing all sorts of stuff, but tonight and we will get into the hums and the purrs and stuff like that. But right now, I asked David, can you put together the top 5 best vocalizations, except the Moorhead ones, because we know they're going to top just about anything because they're so good, but other vocalizations that maybe aren't as famous. And I don't know if you've had luck doing that. I think you did.
Yeah, I sent Jeff a list of 5. I think maybe I misunderstood, but they're my top 5.
Yes.
Either I've collected or I'm really close to the people that recorded something. I guess we can just start with number 1.
No, we got to start with number 5.
Okay. This is number 5 is called Jurassic Park, and it's probably the weirdest vocalization capture I've ever heard. And it was captured by Julie Wrench in North Carolina.
Okay.
And I told her after listening to this, I said, "You've got dinosaurs you might want to consider moving."
Yeah, exactly. Sell your house immediately.
Yeah. So if you want to play that, Jeff, I think everybody will understand why.
Okay, here we go.
So, yeah, I think that could be a soundtrack right out of Jurassic Park, the movie.
Yeah. What do you think it was doing?
Ah, God. What is it? I'm not so certain.
Well, let's assume. Okay, well, let's just assume it's not a Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's a
It was
Bigfoot.
mimicking a
Let's assume.
T-Rex. That's what it's doing.
So I'm going to ask everybody. Will, what do you think? You just probably never heard that before. What
I've
do you think?
never heard that was. I don't know what that was. I can't. I'm sitting
No,
here
I didn't
thinking,
ask you what it was. I asked you what do you think it was doing. Big difference.
Who knows? I mean, it
That's
could
a
have-
huge difference,
Yeah,
sir.
it's a huge difference. Who knows? I mean, it sounded like I really actually don't even know. Maybe like it was defending its territory. Maybe like like
Okay.
vocalizing in that sense. I mean,
Okay. Or maybe it was complaining to its wife,
yeah.
or vice versa.
Maybe it was the wife.
Yeah,
Could've
Jeff,
been.
what do you think it was? What do you think it was doing?
I have no idea. That sounded mad to me.
It just sounds mad. Okay, Tristan, what do you think it was doing?
I don't know. I don't know, but I do want to say I think it's you can kind of hear like a chatter or gibberish
Yeah.
in between
Yeah.
that. I thought that was really interesting to hear. Right
I
after
think-
the roar sounds.
I think everybody can agree we've never heard anything like it. It's not a normal animal. Kenny, what do you think it was doing?
I think that was a mating ritual.
Kenny, God bless you.
Yeah, that's
You
what
have
it
a
sounded to me
you have
like.
a one-track mind.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they stole all the good ones. I was down to nothing.
Oh. By the way, you have better audio now than these other professionals.
I've just got my Samsung phone audio there at the bottom.
Oh,
That's what
it's working good.
That's
Don't
what
touch
I-
a thing.
that's what I recorded my sounds with.
By the way, Kenny, I just want to thank you for being such a good friend all the time.
I try to be. It's
You are.
hard.
You're a wonderful human.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I do my best.
Anyhow, okay. So he's mating. Okay, David, is that a possibility that we could record such a thing? And how would we know?
Well, it's like finding the nests, the Olympic project. When we got those, we go, where are these all over the United States? We just don't hear about
Right.
people finding it. So this is a vocalization we just don't hear all that often. So it possibly could be. I think Kenny has probably the number one
Okay.
winner. Of
Kenny,
reason.
we're all voting for you.
Yeah.
Your answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I was the last choice there. You all took all the good answers.
Well, I was waiting for somebody to say mating.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to interrupt everybody else. I was enjoy listening.
Yeah. And then the nest, David, you mentioned the nest. A lot of people probably aren't familiar. Can you just really briefly
Sure.
tell
Bullet
how they
point.
were constructed?
Sure. Well, let's back up the truck. We didn't actually find them. We were. It was reported to us by somebody that had worked with Derek Reynolds of the Olympic Project, a client of his who owns forest land and was about to harvest a tract. He sent out a timber cruiser to mark this area, and he came across a series of 5 what he called nests. And when we examined them, it sure looked like that's what they were. And they were assembled by something that had to have opposable hands, because all of the material that was used was huckleberry branches, and they had been ripped off the huckleberry in the area. And they were stitched together, woven together around sticks that were jammed, for a better term, vertically into the ground, so that it would hold the structure. And then branches were woven in and out of that. So that was essentially a find for the ages. We haven't heard a lot of people finding groups of nests like this was. This was a group. There was like 5 nests in this area. We found a total of 23 up and down that.
And these were
particular
examined by
valley.
even primatologists?
Yes.
examining
Yeah, we
these?
had bear biologists. 2 of them looked at it and said, "Any bear."
No.
Then Jeff Meldrum, Dr. Meldrum looked at them And he's the one that discovered the sticks that were jammed into the nest vertically so that it could have some structure. So he said that there's thought that was processed here to construct these.
And don't those branches contain a kind of antibacterial property?
Yes. Well, huckleberries do.
Mm-hmm.
So it was both a function of the nest itself providing some sort of comfort, and I'm presuming the taking and eating of the berries was a healthy thing for them as well.
Wow.
So, yeah.
By the way, Tristan, you better tell people your cat's name.
Chloe. Yeah, I said that.
You did? Okay, good. Because
her name is.
If I see one more question about your cat.
I've answered it twice already in the chat. So.
Sorry, I'm just kidding.
I just let her in too. She was out
I'm just kidding.
Just kidding.
Okay. Let's go ahead and have you play 2, and then we're going to get back to Will on another historical encounter. So what's number 4?
4. Okay, so in reverse order, it's a situation where I was camping in Bumping Lake. I had parked my car. It was about 10, 15 feet at the most away from my tent. And something tried to get into my car. You can hear, the first thing you'll hear in the clip is a latch being attempted to open the car door, and it slams shut as it slips off its fingers. And then you can hear some shuffling, and that's it. It took about 2 steps to get that 10 to 15 feet over to my tent. And the next thing you'll hear is it grabs the tent fly, which is actually a blue tarp that's crinkly and makes lots of sounds. And then it's going to make an ungodly sound. And this happened about 2 feet above my head. So I was a little impressed. Go ahead and play it.
This is the one that's titled Carlock Snuffling Tent Fly?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Here we go.
That squeak there was a Coleman lantern that was on a metal spike on a tree. So it was mounted at least 7 feet off the ground. So I'm assuming that it hit it with its shoulder as it walked by.
I thought that squeak was maybe its voice had gotten that high.
Yeah.
I was going to ask about that. Well, it's good that you weeded that out.
Yeah.
David,
but what would you?
Was that recorded? How long?
What's
ago?
that?
How long ago was that recorded?
I'm going to say 2007 or 2008.
Oh, okay. It's a great recording. I really like that.
Yeah.
I really like that.
What would you call that speech? I mean, do you have a name or a category you categorize that under?
That particular speech, no, I don't. It's kind of a grumbly thing. Gibberish, I think, Tristan, is probably the right thing to say, because that's kind of what it sounds. It doesn't sound like a human structure at all, but it's definitely saying something.
You need to have a category called frightening.
Underwear changing this week.
So, thanks, Tristan, for that comment. But a lot of people have heard it, but few have recorded it.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy. Somebody had mentioned Mr. Helton said he was cussing out the car door.
There you go.
That
I
could
like
be
that one.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting. I love the comments. Keep them coming. Okay, so Will, back on to you.
Yes.
I got to give you a rest. You don't have to hold that mic too often. You know, I got to give your hand a rest.
Glad you reminded me. I needed the reminder. Thank you.
Yes. You don't have to hold it that close.
I have to wrap it around my ear and let it just drape right there or something.
Yeah, so long as it's, by the way, condenser mics pick up vibration. So if it's connected, touching your body, it'll usually work really well. Especially your head, because your head's hollow.
There we go. Yeah, that's not a lie. No lies detected.
No, right. Okay. Number 4. What is your number 4th?
That was 4. Number 3
That
is
was
next.
4.
No, I'm
played
not
5.
talking about the sounds. I'm talking to Will.
Oh,
We're
okay.
talking about historical. David, you're taking a break now.
Okay.
You get just to enjoy the show.
All right.
At number 4, I'm going to go with Albert Ostman.
Okay. Tell us about it.
Well, in 1924, he got abducted. Well, he was on a trip. He wanted to take a little vacation to the Toba Inlet, and he got dropped off up there by himself. And the Native American that took him up there said, "Hey, I don't know if you should be going up here. There's, people that disappear." And he's like, "What from what?" And it was like, and he said, "The Sasquatch." And he's like, "Oh, there's no such thing." So he went up into their camping, and all of a sudden, a Sasquatch came and got him one night and carried him away for miles, and dropped him off into this little canyon. I guess you would call it a box canyon. There were cliffs on all sides where he couldn't get away, and he was stuck there. They kept him there, kind of prisoner, for several days until he finally made his escape and got rescued out on the Salmon Inlet, probably about 30 or 40 miles south of where he actually went in. So, he traveled a good distance, thankfully, from the Sasquatch carrying him the first night. So just imagine that, being out there in the wilderness like that, something picking you up and carrying you away.
Yeah, because as I remember, by the way, not only did Will do a nice thing on it, but in an older episode of Monster Quest, we reenacted it completely with an actor and so on. Yeah. But he was picked up in a sleeping bag and carried for how long?
Several hours. He said 7 to 8 hours.
Yeah, would you have been 8 miles, 10 miles?
Yeah, like over the mountains, down the mountains. Like, just think about that human feat, or that Sasquatch feat of carrying somebody up and down through that terrain all that time, and just dropping them down like a sack of potatoes afterwards. Like, here you are. I brought you here. Now you got to stay. It just blows my mind that something would carry him that far. I don't know. Could you just lay there for 7 hours and not do anything?
I don't know. Well, probably wouldn't have any choice. But do you? Okay, so I'm going to ask everybody whether they believe the story one.
Sure.
And how you would have reacted had that happened, Jeff? Would you?
One thing before you guys answer, he also signed an affidavit saying that this absolutely happened.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, the Ostman story, it's interesting. There's so many details of it that sound, I don't know, just hard to wrap your brain around. So I don't know. I mean, I don't want to call anybody a liar.
You're on the fence.
Yeah, I'm on the fence on that
one.
one.
I'm going to tell you, I was on the fence too until I read a detail in his report that blew my mind. And I was like, there's no way he would have known that had he had not encountered creatures at the very least. He described their walk, and I was the only other one besides him to describe the walk as a goose walk.
Yeah.
I did that back in about 2001 when I was really analyzing the walk, and the legs go kind of like this, right, when they walk. It's kind of a swimming action or a goose walk. And when he described that, I went, oh boy, I had to take a whole new think about the whole story because of that one detail. Yeah. So what do you think, Kenny? Do you think the Albert Ostman story is true or BS? Partially true.
Well, did he take a lie detector test or go into like hypnosis or regression therapy or something for that?
Don't know. He definitely signed an affidavit. I know he recorded his story.
Yeah.
He recorded it on tape.
And the story never changed over the years. That's another thing. Like you would think that if it wasn't true, that it would slip up a little bit, but he never changed the story.
So, do you think thumbs up, thumbs down? What do you give it, Ken?
I would go thumbs up. I think it's possible. Anything, you know.
Yeah.
I think the weird fact that I thought was hard to believe was the escape story. How he gave it some snuff or chewing tobacco.
Yeah.
And it was choking, and then Can you talk more about that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He was trying to get away for a couple of days, and they kept blocking his way. And finally he was like, "I got to get out of here." So he knew that the grown male Sasquatch liked this stuff, so he took some snuff, and the Sasquatch took all of it at once. You know how you're supposed to take a little pinch? It took all of it in his mouth at once, and I guess he didn't. According to Albert Osman, Albert Osman said he must not have liked that very much, because then he grabbed my whole can of coffee, cinders and all, and drank it down. Like as soon as he put all that stuff in his mouth, he had to get it out. So he grabbed the coffee and he drank it down like that, and he howled and ran away. And he's like, "This is my time." And the female stepped up like she was going to stop him, and he like pointed his gun at her, and she kind of got out of the way. And then he took off and made his harrowing escape.
Right.
Yeah. So
well, that's the part of the story that made me kind of skeptical.
Yeah.
And there could be embellishments. We don't. In other words, it could be real, or parts of it real.
That's kind of where I'm at. I'm sure parts of it are real. I absolutely believe parts of it are real. Yeah. Some of the embellishments seem a little bit. I don't know. Who knows?
And then Tristan, what do you think about that story?
Yeah, I'm kind of on the fence on it. Maybe there's some embellishment there. I kind of find it hard to believe if somebody's going to be in a sleeping bag for 8 hours or so like that. I mean, that'll be tough for me to endure. And
right,
but like you said, Doug, there's some details that he talks about describing the Sasquatch that are, I think back then, not many people really knew about or were talked about in reports. Right. So that's kind of interesting. But again, like the sleeping bag thing, how can you be in that for 8 hours just not scared, crapless, and not like try to escape or anything like that? I don't know. It's like that's pretty crazy. And yeah, the snuff thing for him to escape like that, I don't know. But like you said though, he did sign an affidavit and everything, and he did record his. I know John Green recorded an interview with him, and I've seen clips of he was on a documentary back in the 70s talking about it on camera. So I don't know. Like there's probably some parts that were embellished, but it's tough to say. It really is. I've never heard of any other, as far as I know, other stories of being captured while you're sleeping like that.
I was going to ask everybody about, Will, do you have any information, the fact that he kept it secret for 30 years?
No, I do not know anything about the reason why.
I didn't know that either. I guess I just assumed, we all assumed things, that he had talked about it right away.
Yeah.
That gives it probably a little more credibility if he kept it quiet for all those years. All right, moving on. Let's do the next one, Will.
Number 3 to me is going to be the Bauman incident, the one that Teddy Roosevelt writes about in his book, The Wilderness Hunter. Just imagine that, being out on in a lonely pass looking for beavers, trapping you and your friend, and all of a sudden, there's nobody around for dozens and dozens and dozens of miles. You're out there in the dark, and then this Sasquatch Bigfoot creature comes up to your cabin, to your tent to see what's going on. And you do the dumb thing, you shoot at it, like, to make it angry. Haven't we all learned by now that that's the last thing you want to do to a Bigfoot or a Sasquatch is shoot at it? But anyway, they shoot at it, and the next day they go trapping further up into the pass, and they come back separately at separate times. And when the second trapper comes back, Bauman, his friend, the first trapper, had been killed by a Sasquatch while he was gone, and he just got the heck up out of there, because what else is he going to do? Get killed too?
No, you say killed. Weren't they killed in a weird way?
There was only one killed, his partner, but yeah, he was trampled on. Basically, his back was broken and he was trampled on. Is what happened to him.
Ugh.
Yeah. So, I mean that Teddy Roosevelt, he didn't suffer any liars. He didn't suffer any fools. So, to me, for him to put that in his book, kind of gives it a little bit more credence. I mean, maybe not everybody will agree with that, but to me, it does.
Do you know where the exact location of that is?
There's not enough clues in the story to like pinpoint it. Like that's the tree, that's the rock, or whatever. But I do know. I'm pretty confident that I know which pass this happened in. But I can't be like right there is where they were camped. I couldn't tell you that part. But I do know it's in the wilderness. I mean, the Bitterroot Mountains, and it is another clue that was given is it's between the forks of the Salmon River. So I deduced, and there's other clues given in the story. So I use those clues and that's basically what I do with my channel. I find these places on Google Earth. So sometimes it takes me 15, 20, 25 hours to go through these clues just for one video, right? Like scouring and going through terrain maps and all kinds of different hydro maps and like trying to pinpoint these places. And the Bauman and Albert Osman are the two that I really can't pinpoint, like, this is where it happened, because the clues just aren't, pinpoint enough. But I do believe that I know which pass they were up in. So I can't say that fairly confidently.
Okay. Well, good. David?
Yes.
It's time for some sound.
Okay, here we go.
So where are we at? What number are we at? We've done two of them.
Number 3, the Bumping Lake Howl, BL Howl.
Okay. Tristan, before you play it, Tristan, have you heard this audio recording?
I'm not sure, honestly, because
okay,
I haven't heard that many Bumping Lake howls, to be honest. I mean,
what's your area, right? That's pretty much
yeah.
your area of research.
But I honestly haven't heard too many other recordings from there. I mean, other than what David has played before, so I'm not really sure yet.
So what we're going to hear are 2 Ohio howl type vocalizations, and they both have an attenuated fundamental. Without getting too complicated, when you look at a vocalization in a spectrogram, you see a series of long, steady bars, if you will, that indicate a resonance. And the first bar is what's called the main fundamental. And when that slides up into the first harmonic, it creates an odd signature, one that mathematically doesn't compute, because the resonance is a factor of itself. So say you have a howl that's at 100 hertz. The first harmonic is going to be at 200 hertz. So if your first harmonic, which you think is the main fundamental, is 200 hertz, and the next one is 300 hertz, there's a math problem there, because it should be 400 hertz.
Right. It's like something's missing.
Yeah.
Yes. That's why it's called the missing or attenuated, which means it's diminished fundamental. But both my Bumping Lake howl vocalization and one that was recorded in the Ohio, near where Matt Moneymaker originally recorded the Ohio howl, but this was like in 2013.
Okay.
My recording is 2007-ish, and this was 2013. So there's like 6 years and 2,000 miles separation between the two vocalizations. Yet listen to how similar they are.
Okay, here we go.
Now, if you didn't know better, I would say that those were the same creatures.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, you think what else could it be? You know what I mean? That's although we didn't record a Bigfoot doing that, you just process of elimination. What else could that be?
Right. It's not a wolf. Doesn't have a wolf signature. It's not a coyote. Doesn't have a coyote signature. You're running out of suspects real fast. It doesn't appear to be a dog. So what it does have a canid type sound to it, yet it sounds human like. So there you have it.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. So what do you think that one's calling for? Just communication? What does everybody think? Kenny, have you ever been to Bumpy Lake?
I haven't been west of Kentucky.
Okay. Never.
I'm an East Coast man. I've been from Cancun all the way up to New Hampshire.
Yeah. Well, that's good though, because you recorded the hum on the East Coast, and we've got lots of them on the West Coast.
Yeah, I got a hum. I got the metallic noise. I got an orb up in New Hampshire. I got crazy stuff.
Yeah, that's great. How long have you been doing research, Kenny?
Probably about close to 3 years, something like that.
Yeah,
Rush
so you know. And why did you get into it?
Well, we went hiking up in back where I used to cliff dive all the time when I was younger, and we found a track in a little mud hole. I took a picture of it and I hollered at Russ Jones, and I told him we were starting to hike, and he gave me one of his trails in Canal State Forest. So that's how I got started. And my wife and I, we like to hike and explore, and I do a lot of photography, taking pictures and all that good stuff. And plus we look for Bigfoot while we're out there and record while we do it, audio recording.
Yeah. Have you been to the LBL?
No, I haven't. No, I worked out in Lexington. I wasn't too far from it.
Yeah.
I worked out there at a Toyota plant, but I was working 512, so I never had time to go Bigfooting at the end of the day.
Well, I'm glad you joined us tonight. Okay, David, back to David.
Okay.
What is your next audio recording?
Well, I like this one because it was recorded on a cell phone, and it was kind of a distant howl, but I was able to enhance it and bring it forward. And so this was kind of a combination of not necessarily good equipment and editing to bring it to a pretty good recording. So I would just like to tell people, you don't have to have the best equipment out there. If you can get it recorded, I might be able to do something with it.
Right.
So I'll let you be the judge. That's the Rainier Howl. And there's a series of 4 vocalizations by the same subject.
Yep.
Okay.
Wow.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
It sounds big.
Yeah, it sounds really big. Like I said, it was a distant vocalization. I would estimate from the original recording that it was at least a mile away, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, and whoever recorded it probably wished it was 2 miles away. Jeez. What do you guys think? Will, what do you think about that recording?
That was powerful right there. Like you said, I wouldn't want to be close to that thing right there. It sounded legit to me, that's for sure.
Yeah, what else could make something like that other than a human?
Yeah. A massive human, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, a human couldn't be that loud. No way.
No.
I know it wasn't Tristan. Tristan, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I've never heard anything like that in person. It's you have to have a pretty good set of lungs, but it really narrows down your choices of what it could be. So
yeah,
I don't know. That was at Mount Rainier, roughly, David.
Near the town of Rainier.
Okay.
Not too far from the base.
Gotcha.
South of JBL McCord.
And that's pretty good audio for a cell phone too. So
Yeah. Well, it was enhanced a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And do you want to do your top recording? And I know you've got access right there to just a bunch of them. I know Jeff is playing them, but you could always, when we're talking to these other guys, you could always send Jeff another.
I've got a bunch here.
Yeah, I've got a bunch. Oh, good.
We've got enough to take care of the whole show.
Oh, gee. Oh, good. Thanks, David.
I've got a lot from David.
I knew that.
Do we want to do track one?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's number one. Number one
is recorded by my favorite all-time recordist, John Andrews.
Oh, yes.
He's well known within our community, Tristan, as you will probably know, John.
He's so amazing, John is.
Yeah, he's got some great recordings, I gotta say.
But this took me back to 11 years old when I had my encounter at 30 feet or less, and it screamed, this vocalization that you're going to hear, which is about 12 seconds long. Wow. But that's what I experienced. And 11 years old, you don't hear these things every day. So I can remember exactly how frightened I was when I heard it.
Okay. All right. I'll play it a couple times as a short one.
Oh, okay.
Yikes.
Oh, that's eerie.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a human.
It's got that Ohio howl to it too.
Right. Yeah, it's an Ohio howl type vocalization. Mm-hmm. But I remember the first time that I heard it when John was playing it at a conference in 2005. I had my daughter and son with me, and I was, oh boy, that's it. That's it. That's what I heard when I was 11 years old. So, yeah, John really nailed that one for me. But in this particular recording that this is a part of, this is just a clip of a longer recording. He's got maybe 12 vocalizations like this. So it would be fun to have him on sometime, let him play his audio that he's recorded over the years.
Yeah, I think he recorded a bunch of different audio that same night from different individuals. So
yes.
Possible juvenile clips and things.
Right.
And I think Richard Grover was with him too when he recorded that.
How long is John Andrews doing Bigfoot research? How many years?
Oh, I think he started in the 70s.
Wow. So that puts it at over almost 60 years.
Yeah.
Gosh, is he ever willing to come back on?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's amazing. Really amazing guy. But anybody who's been doing research that long was really onto something long before anybody else was.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So what do we want to do here? Let's go ahead and go back to Will. I know Will's got another historical encounter he wants to talk about.
I do. Everybody's heard of Ruby Creek. That's my second favorite one of all time. What happened to the Harrisons over there at that property with the little kids there? I mean, could you imagine what the feelings and emotions that was going through that lady's mind? Like, what is this thing going to do? I mean, I guess she knew the legends, not to let it look at them and all that. That's why she covered it with a blanket. But
well, tell us the location. Ruby Creek means nothing to all of us.
Oh, that's in British Columbia, Canada. It's right there next to the Fraser River. Interesting enough, now that you brought it up, there was a TV show that just was on TV recently that went to that location, but didn't have the right location. That's the things that I noticed, and I'm like, like somebody must have not gave them the right information or something. So they were actually on the other side of the river. When I watched it, I'm like, what are they doing? They don't even know where it is. So one unfortunate thing about the location is I guess it's under new ownership for the past 10 years or something, and they're putting like a trailer park in it. So it's I watch other stuff on YouTube, so I'm into Civil War and the Civil War because I have ancestors that fought for the Union and all that. But so they have Battlefield Trust where they put aside like tracts of land because that happened there. I feel like we should do something like that with these Bigfoot encounters locations before we lose them. Like I said, I'll go on the Ruby Creek, I go on the satellite, and like half the property is taken up by a trailer park now, and it's just sad. Like that's a perfect example of a prime place that needs to be saved. They could literally put up a museum there saying this is where the Ruby Creek incident happened, right? And instead they're turning it into a trailer park, and it's just a sad thing to me. But anyway, back to the encounter. Yeah, it had to have been crazy to be a lady there with your kids and have the thing walk through the field to the house, come in their shed. They had a barrel of salted fish, and it picked up the barrel of fish and threw it and broke it open and started eating the fish. So she booked out of there, took the kids down the way to Ruby Creek, and the Bigfoot did his thing. I guess the fish were too salty because he went down into the river, took a drink. That's where his tracks went, and then turned around, went back up the mountain. So that's very good documented encounter there. John Green actually went there himself. Other what would you call them? Mount Rushmore not explorers, but people that look into the subject, they've been there. So it's like one of the top-notch encounters, if you ask me.
Have you heard a lot about the Ruby Creek incident, David?
Yeah, just from just an investigative perspective.
Yeah.
I read about it several different times, several different accounts, but yeah, it's one of the ones that piqued my interest just because of so many different things that happened. But yeah, it was one. It's kind of like Jocko. Remember I had an interest similar to that experience.
Oh, the Jocko incident was in British Columbia, as I remember.
Correct.
Along the railroad. They were on the railroad and saw a creature. Was it climbing up a cliff?
No, it had fallen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was laying on the tracks, and they managed to get the train to stop. And then I don't know how they corralled it or how they actually were able to subdue it. But you do well.
It came to, and it climbed up a cliff, trying to get away from them. And they finally climbed the cliff and got it onto a ledge where it couldn't get away from them anymore. And a guy hit it with a rock and knocked it out. And they got it from there and put it on the train and took it down to Yale, British Columbia, where supposedly hundreds of people saw this creature. Like you said, after that, the proof, kind of dies out, so you really don't know if it's just a
right.
story.
The story is that it died eventually.
Well,
captivity.
They don't know. I mean, no one really knows. It just.
Oh.
Yeah, the story has about 4 or 5 different endings.
Okay.
So you pick one.
It's like they put it on a train to go up to the East Coast or something to Barnum, the circuses or something, and that was the last anybody's heard of it.
I just wanted to mention about the Ruby Creek thing. There's a Bigfoot documentary from the 70s called Bigfoot Man or Beast, and there's actually a segment about Ruby Creek, and there's footage of John Green and I forget the other guy's name, but there's another guy that went up and tracked the footprints up around the mountain, and the way he describes it, and they show you like what it looks like back in the day there, it's pretty crazy for somebody or something to go that kind of distance.
I sent Jeff some visuals of everything you're talking about. Even Renee DeHendron went there. It literally supposedly stepped over a fence that was like 4 or 5 feet high. Right. And there's a picture of Renee DeHendron on that fence. And I don't know if Jeff has those visuals or not, but there's visuals of the old cabin, and there he is on the fence right there. Yeah. The Bigfoot supposedly stepped over that just like in a gate. They found one footprint on one side and another footprint on the other.
And the kids were just calling it a cow.
Calling the cow. Say, there's a cow coming from out of the woods. Yep, you're exactly right.
So
very interesting.
Pretty interesting account for sure.
Yeah, do not bait Bigfoot with salty fish. Unless you leave him a cup of water.
Yeah, that cowman term is kind of interesting. One of my favorite all-time stories, because I'm a big fan of the things that happen in Grays Harbor here in Washington. But there's a story, truthful or not truthful, who knows? But it's really one of those tales that should be a movie. It's called The Cowman of Copalis. And if you haven't read that story or heard that story, do yourself a favor and go read that story.
Well, why did they call it the Cowman?
Because the young little son who was playing on the porch reported to his mother, "Mommy, come look at the cowman out in the field."
That was the Grays Harbor, Washington, I believe.
Grays Harbor is a county in Washington.
Yeah.
And Copalis is a town out on the beach.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming it happened somewhere in that neighborhood or that vicinity.
Yeah. And Grays Harbor is home of the probably world's best Bigfoot footprints taken by the deputy, I believe. And why is his name escaping me? I know him. He's an amazing guy. Dennis Hereford.
Yes.
The Hereford tracks are amazing. I got to meet Dennis, hang out with him. And man, does that guy have credentials. I mean, he had man tracking experience and blah, blah, blah. And those are the very famous. Do you have one handy there, David? Probably.
I have a footprint, but not that one.
I have one right behind me, and the police report that he wrote up. As he documented everything. That's an amazing.
I think I have that footprint.
Dennis, hairy head. Siatko there, he knew the
Confirmed.
answer, and he knows Dennis or knew Dennis also.
Yes,
I think it was Siatko that introduced me. Old Siatko introduced me to a lot of good people,
including himself.
Yes, he's a great guy. Oh God! Anyhow, what the hell were we even talking about? I don't remember.
Bigfoot.
Well, I know we were talking about Bigfoot, smartass.
Well, that was number 3. That was Will's number 3, so we got 2 more from Will.
Oh,
that was 2. That was number 2.
Oh, that was number 2. I'm sorry.
All right, go ahead, Will.
Drum roll.
Floor.
You want the number 1?
Yeah,
here we go.
It's got to be Ape Canyon.
Hold your mic up just a little bit so we can hear you better.
It's got to be Ape Canyon right now. I'm keeping out the J.W. Burns stories from way back because I think those are a separate category myself. But yeah, number 1, the Ape Canyon story. Living through that, ridiculous. I don't even know how you could you. What would you guys have done if you were trapped in that cabin and that was happening to you? I mean,
well, I've kind of lived through that on my own already.
Well, I haven't, so I don't. Yeah, I haven't. I that's just ridiculous to me. I mean, talking about fear. I mean, what else are you going to be besides fearful? You're not going to harm those creatures. They're not. I don't know. I guess you could shoot them and kill them, but according to a lot of theories. Can't really.
Well, okay. Well, let me give you a comparison. Up at Snell, we didn't have any rifles.
Yeah,
we had no weapons, and the cabin was attacked, and
yeah.
And so I find the Ape Canyon story very believable because I've experienced the same kind of things.
Yeah.
and doesn't seem like a stretch to me at all.
Once again, you shoot at a creature, that's the reaction you're going to get. There's other stories like the one in Chetco, on the Chetco River in Oregon, where the loggers out there shoot at a creature and it like literally tears 2 or 3 of them apart. It slams them up against trees. You know,
well, I was just going to say, Will, can you actually tell us where it is? And
on the Chetco River?
No, the Ape Canyon.
Oh, it's in everybody knows where Ape Canyon is.
No, they don't.
They don't know where the Ape
No,
Canyon is?
you got to remember, we're dealing with a whole new generation of people that are coming into this. Young people. This is their first introduction.
It's on the eastern slopes of Mount St. Helens. Actually, luckily, it has not even been touched by the lava flow that hit there in 1980. I mean, above the canyon did, but the canyon itself was untouched, which was basically a miracle. Now, I believe the place where the cabin was has been touched by the lava flow, but the canyon itself wasn't. Yeah, so it was on the east coast of Mount St. Helens, and this was in 1924 when the Ape Canyon incident occurred. To Fred Beck and his friend Hank and 3 other people that were out there, they were actually out there mining. They were looking for gold. And early in the day, one day, they went to go get some water at the spring next to the cabin, and they saw a creature running across the valley. So they started taking shots at it and missed it. So later on that evening, the Bigfoot came in and started attacking the cabin. Now, after that night, supposedly, according to what Fred Beck said, he shot one and it tumbled over into the Ape Canyon the next morning. So, and then I found another report where they went down to the ranger's office, a report from the ranger that worked there at Spirit Lake. And he said, this morning I had these crazy people coming in saying, we got him. And he was like, you got what? And this guy was carrying a gun. So the ranger was kind of like fearful, like, what's going on? My wife's over here. Where's my wife? And make sure my wife's okay. And Fred Buck was like, we got him. And the ranger was like, who'd you get? He was like, the Mountain Devil. We finally got him. We shot one and one went over the. So, like, why would that why would Fred Beck and them go down there to that ranger station and the next morning and say, we got him, if it was all fake? I just have a hard time wrapping my mind around that. That just proves to me more and more that I believe that this was an occurrence that actually really, really did happen.
Right. And I believe Mark Marcel found the location recently. Correct, David?
Yeah, 5 or 6 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's recently to me.
Yeah. It might even be longer. I do know that he has actual relics, metallic things that he has found, spikes and nails from the period, that he has 100% in his mind, and 2 others confirmed that the cabin existed, and it existed at that location. So that part is true. Not only that, but the mine has been found.
Yeah.
The one that
did Mark find the mine?
The Van der White?
He almost did.
But somebody did. Who found it?
No, one of the relatives of not Beck, but is it Smith? Maybe.
Oh, one of the other miners.
Yeah, it was 3 sons of the son. So in other words, their grandfather.
Yeah.
Alex Petikoff did one on that a while back.
Yeah,
Small-town monsters. He had the relatives and everybody on there.
Right. Yep.
I met Fred Beck's son many years ago, and interviewed him and talked to him on the phone, and that was kind of interesting. It's such a famous story. And what do y'all think, Kenny? Do you think that story's true? 100%.
Yeah. Well, they actually went to the original mine and everything. They found all the artifacts where the cabin was. They have all them nails, everything out of the cabin they found with metal detectors, and it showed the mine and everything. They had to rappel down. to get to the mines. Actually,
there's a picture of the cabin I sent to Jeff I don't know if you guys saw the next picture.
Throw it up. And Tristan, do you believe this story?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that the mine and the cabin itself was found, I think definitely supports their story. I do wonder though, like in terms of them throwing the rocks, maybe I'm wondering if it was as violent as maybe they're making it out to be, or was it more like what you had at Snow Grove?
Right.
With the lobbing of the rocks on the cabin.
Right.
I'm curious if like it was really as violent as as we've heard from Ape Canyon.
Right. They may have not been in any danger. It might have just been a lot of intimidation.
There was a photograph showing holding the rocks of size, and they were about softball size. They're about big enough to fit in my hand.
Yeah.
That they found around the cabin the next morning. So.
Yeah, there weren't any big boulders. Even Fred Beck says that. He said that they weren't like huge.
So it fits within what we know. Other people reporting that they're throwing rocks. It's not boulder size rocks. It's usually softball size rocks.
Yeah. Or smaller. Yep.
Yeah.
I think most of them they throw are smaller. It depends. It just seems like they do not want to hurt you.
No.
They purposely want to scare the living tar out of you, but they don't want to hurt you.
Yeah.
Right.
I think they're just trying to get you out of their area.
Yeah. Right.
I really don't think they're trying to have the confrontations.
Well, especially when you shoot at one, they want you up out of there real quick.
Yeah.
Like we don't want these people hanging around.
Yeah, they just they seem to operate on fear, and so they may not have been in any danger. The one part that seems embellished is where it stuck its hand through the chin crack and tried to grab an axe. I'm not so sure. Who knows?
Well, a lot of times the newspapers embellish the stories. Like even Fred Beck said that in an interview. He's like, and the newspapers are saying that rocks came through the ceiling and knocked people out. Like that never happened. Like that's what the newspapers are saying. I'm here to tell you the truth. That never happened. I was never knocked out. So a lot of times the newspapers are the ones embellishing, trying to sell the story. Clickbait back in the 1960s.
That's a really good point, Will. That even the Osmond story was probably exaggerated a bit by the newspapers. Why not? Like the newspapers never ever do that.
No.
Ever.
And it's interesting. Both of those accounts were in 1924.
24, yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
And Kenny, all right. So you're in a cabin. It's getting attacked. Are you scared, or do you trust the fact that they're just trying to scare you and not hurt you?
I'd probably have to be in that moment to understand how I'd feel right now.
Yeah,
that's a good answer.
I wouldn't know how to act really. I'd have to sit there and kind of be quiet until I wouldn't start shooting. I know that. I wouldn't do anything stupid. I just stay put, sit down in a corner and wait for it to go.
Yeah. And by the way, Kenny, I told our listeners to get in a comfy chair, not our podcasters. I didn't tell our guests to get in a comfy chair. I just told our listeners to.
Yeah, I got a recliner. That's I'm retired after a long day.
Well, yeah, that's what the heck. I think it's just perfect. Yeah.
I kick back. I relax every evening.
Yeah, even when you're on TV. Yeah, that's.
Oh yeah.
That's the way to go. Anyhow, I got to give you some crap, Kenny. You look comfy. That's all I'm saying.
I'm always comfortable.
We love you, Kenny. Oh, my goodness. We love you.
That's why I'm here, Doug. I love you all.
Yeah, we do love you.
I have a blast. We have a blast in chat.
Yeah. Well, see, now you're not in chat.
Yeah, I know.
Are you still having a blast? Are you still having a blast?
I feel like I'm on edge right now. I'm having withdrawal symptoms.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, you're fine. Just hang in there. You're comfy, so that's all we care about.
Yeah.
Sly Fox said, yeah, Kenny's doing it right. And then Brendan says, I retire every night. So there you go.
I do that too.
Yeah. Everybody loves Kenny. Just
Yeah.
so we love Kenny in the chat. We'd appreciate that. Okay.
Thank you. I do my best.
So, okay, where are we at? David?
Yes.
What do you want to play? What do you want to do to
do you want to
freak us
do
out on Easter here?
Do we want to get into the HBP clips?
Yeah, I think we probably should. Tristan, are
Tristan,
you ready?
you're up.
I'm gonna rely on you, Tristan, to explain this whole biblical connection.
Oh God.
That Nick Grish, yes, that's I didn't tell you this, did I? I want you to explain the whole thing. I hope you have notes openers.
I'm not a historian person. I mean, I mainly just focus on what you told me. I can kind of talk about that, but I mean, as far as everything else goes,
let's hear your side of it first before we play any hum sounds. So I'm gonna back up the story a little bit. It was last night. I think it was last night, wasn't it? Or was it
a couple nights ago?
Friday night. Nick sends me a link or a name of a show he was watching. And he's like, Doug, you got to see this. He goes, they're talking about biblical giants, and they're talking about the name of them, which was Zimonian, I believe. But it came from they were named after Zimzum, which is Latin word for buzz. Correct. Is that right, Tristan?
Correct. It's Hebrew.
Hebrew. There you go. Sorry. Thank you.
It was up in the Amman, near Israel, I guess.
Yes. So you take it away now. You know the
No. But you had it good, man.
Take it away.
Oh, but yeah, no, it's a Zumenzam is from that's those are the race of giants that was based on this Hebrew word meaning like Zumin, Zazumin meaning buzz.
Yeah, I think it was Zoom Zim or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And I actually didn't
write any notes down, and I should have.
Let me tell you the title of that thing.
Here, I'm gonna open my notes.
If people want to watch this, it's called "The Giant Species That Ruled Earth and Why They Were Erased." It's from the Secret Origins YouTube site. If you ever want to check that out, I mean that's where it's mentioned. But yeah, these giants, these Zuman giants, described having like a language similar to a bee. That's why they call it the buzz. And they were these giant race of giants that people encountered back then. And they also said that the buzz word also came from possibly spirits. And there's like a spirit connection with that too. But again, the main thing here is that these giants were speaking in a buzz, like a bee buzzing type language. And that's where this Hebrew terminology for it came from. And so it's pretty interesting. I mean, here we've been talking about the hum and the hum and purr recordings possibly associated with Sasquatch. And so now we have this kind of back. I mean, I don't know if you want to. I don't know if this.
We don't know if it's connected, but the coincidence seemed really amazing, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
That it was giants that communicated by buzz sounds.
Buzz sound.
And there's another doc you can watch. It's called "Every Giant Species That Existed." Somebody put together a show. I don't know if it's on YouTube, and it's called "Every Giant Species That Existed." And it gets into this and mentions all of this, but they were called. I'm going to look this up here again. I've got all my notes here. And I'm going to spell things. And the other doc is, it's called "Who Were the Zummin," which is ZAMZUMMIM. And obviously even the name sounds buzzy, right?
Yeah.
Zuminim. Jeff, I didn't send this to you. I should have, because you'd probably be able to pronounce it right. So what do you think about this, Jeff? And we're mentioning the species that were giants, and they spoke with a buzz.
Well, at face value, we know that during the Ice Age there was megafauna. Pretty much every mammal had a giant version. We know that. That's not really disputed. So just right there, that kind of makes giant primates, giant humans, giant apes pretty dang plausible. So who knows? I mean, I don't think that's that weird. I really don't.
But the connection with us recording and getting feedback from all sorts of people that are recording this hum, including one from Russia that hit David. Oh my God, there's a recording from Russia from 2014, David?
I'm not sure what the dates are, but that's about right, somewhere in there.
Yeah. It says Zam Zuman comes from the Hebrew word zim-zum, Z-I-M-Z-U-M, which means buzz. So Z-I-M, look up Z-I-M-Z-U-M, which means buzz. And I just thought, well, this is way beyond a coincidence. So, it suddenly gets a little bit of credibility. The coincidence is amazing because it's such an odd sound coming from a big creature. It would be. Don't you all agree with that?
Yeah,
absolutely.
And do you know anything about this hum phenomenon? Will, maybe you haven't followed it.
I do not, but it kind of makes me think about like the ancient Native American tales about how Bigfoot imitate animals and birds and things like that, like owls and blue jays.
Yeah, of course.
So hummingbirds, so they obviously have that ability.
Well, this seems more than just mimicking. It seems like a common thing they're doing. I don't attribute this to mimicking at all, like not even close.
I didn't mean to just put it in a box because the Douglas Indian tribe in British Columbia say that the Sasquatch used to speak in the tongue language. That's what, not the tongue, the bear tongue language. They called it the bear tongue language, and that was the Sasquatch language that they use. Like I said, the indigenous tribes of the Douglas tribe feel that they had their language and that they used it. So
it's fascinating. Yeah. Have you've heard us talk about the hum, right, Kenny? And the buzz? Kenny? Hello, Kenny?
Yeah. I sent you a buzz.
Oh, that's right. What am I talking about? He sent this one. Okay. So where do we want to start to kick this off? Should we play the Tristan?
Yes.
Let's play Tristan's. He is the guy that started this whole damn thing.
So you recorded this in 2005, right, Tristan?
It's about over 10 years ago. It's a little over 10 years ago.
The one where you first got started in, you put a bait station out near your home?
Yeah. So you want me to go through the story here? I could quickly tell it.
Yeah. Do it quick.
So back in February 2015, my dad was taking the trash out when he was going to work. He was taking the trash out one early morning, and there's a hill above our house that's pretty forested. And when he was taking the trash out, he heard two distinct whoops coming from opposite sides of this hill. Like one whoop would sound off, and the other one would respond to it. So he made a mental note of that because he's never heard that before in person. But he immediately remembered that those whoops sounded like what you hear on the Sierra sounds that Ron Moorhead recorded. But anyway, so when he was going to work, as he was driving down the road, he saw a herd of elk all in the middle of the road, and they're all looking up at the hill where those whoops are coming from. So he made another note of that. He actually had to swerve in between the elk to get to work because they're all in the middle of the road. And then I think it was like a few weeks later we were watching a Bigfoot show. Maybe it was Finding Bigfoot or so. And don't ask me why, but he didn't tell my mother and I about this right away. But I think we were watching a Bigfoot show, and that ignited that memory for him. And then that's when he told us. And then as soon as my mother and I heard that, we said, "Oh wow, we gotta get up there. We gotta do something." So basically, like the next day, she got a new jar of peanut butter, and I had an old recorder. Let's see if I still have it right here. Here it is. I had this old digital recorder here It has no USB capabilities, and I took this up on the hill with my mom with a jar of peanut butter and some peanut butter crackers. And there's a little stream at the time. There was a little stream up on the hill where this trail would connect to, and we just figured, well, let's just put the recorder in the food up here because maybe whatever was making the sounds was coming through the stream, because we think the stream was going around this hill, like maybe a pathway for something, that maybe it was following the stream downward. So I put this recorder up on a stump and I strapped it with a bungee cord a little bit of ways away from the food, and she put the food down on a log near the stream. And again, it was a new jar of peanut butter and some peanut butter crackers, and we left it overnight. And the next morning when I went back up there, the peanut butter jar the lid was opened, and if you look inside, it looked like the possible like finger holes at the bottom of the peanut butter, at the bottom of the peanut butter jar, with possible dermal fingerprints on the side of the jar, like something scooped its hand down into it, and maybe it was eating the peanut butter with its hand. And all the peanut butter crackers were gone. They were neatly opened, like they were in these little kind of like what you get the Keebler Elf peanut butter crackers, like in those little plastic sleeves that they got. Yep. Those were neatly open. They weren't ripped open like maybe a bear or a raccoon would do.
You found no teeth marks in the wrappers.
No teeth marks, nothing like that.
Yep.
No claw marks. And there's no claw marks on the peanut butter jar. It's not. There's no teeth marks. It's not ripped open. It was just neatly open too.
Right.
Which is
So
weird,
I don't want to cut you off.
If it was a bear, that thing would have ripped it apart or taken it away with it. So we thought that was really weird. And then this guy looked fine. Like, just as you can see, there's no teeth marks on it. It's not ripped apart. So I didn't think anything touched this. But when I listened back to it, about an hour after my mother and I left the night before, something comes in, and as you hear on it, the first thing you hear is a big woof. Like a loud frequency type sound, and then you hear whatever this. I don't know if it's even more than one individual, but you hear this thing eating, and then it makes a really loud growl, kind of a grunt, kind of a sound, and then I think it comes over to this recorder and starts fumbling with it as it's making this weird, the purr, the buzz, whatever you want to call it, sound at the same time. And
well, let's let David play the sound, and then we can talk more about it.
Okay.
Yeah,
we've got a whole bunch of recordings. So,
Jeff, I don't know if you put these in a numerical.
I did not know.
Okay, so it's the very first one. Bigfoot messes with recorder.
Yeah,
yep, I got that one.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second to get that one pulled up. Here we go.
It's so interesting how it pulses, it shuts off, and then it starts, and it almost overdrives the microphone on the recorder, which is the same thing we found with other recorders, including, what are the chances that I recorded it up at Snellgrove? We recorded hours of it, Tristan.
Wow.
And we have yet to go through it all and even listen to it all, because there may be grunts and all sorts of things with it. Right. It's a huge job because we have so much. But I don't know if you even have the Snellgrove one, David.
Yeah, DH Snellgrove.
Yeah, do you have it?
Got that one. All right. I'll play it a couple times as a short one.
Yeah. It's looped 5 times.
So tell me that doesn't sound familiar there, Tristan.
Sure does. Sounds like a growl mixed within.
Yeah, they're all a little bit different, but they all have that very quick, overdriven buzz hum purr. That's why we just can't.
Right.
We can't agree. That's why David named it HBP. HBP is the
BHP. Buzz hum purr.
Did I screw that up, David? Oh my God.
I was thinking after watching
Right.
that documentary, maybe we can call it the Bigfoot Buzz, because they call it the Buzz in the documentary.
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot Buzz.
Bigfoot Buzz.
I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I
about that.
see. David wants to keep calling it the purr.
Well,
I keep wanting to call it the buzz.
I want to call it all three because there's different ways people describe it, and there's different sounds. It's in a genre, but it's not exactly the same sound.
Well, let's do this. Let's play the Russia one right now.
Okay.
Because that one's got even something like almost talking mixed in with the buzzing sound.
Well, actually, this is a jaded recording. Igor Burtsev was given this recording from somebody in Russia, and it didn't get much traction. It was panned because it sounded like there's actual talking within the audio, but it sounded too much like somebody that the community had scorned in his recordings, saying that he had faked them, and that these sounds that were coming from this specific subject had some of those same sounds.
Right.
Well,
but just hang
but
on.
it's on the inhale.
Well, I just want to stop you right there though, because when I heard the buzz, that kind of gives credibility to all of the rest of the sounds. Not 100%, but it lends like, okay, if they were faking Bigfoot sounds, they wouldn't have faked the buzz because nobody had talked about it yet.
Zero. Nobody knew about it.
Nobody knew about it. So if it's not authentic, why would those be included in those same sounds? Does that make sense, everybody?
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely.
I mean, if everybody wants to throw an argument out, please let's.
And this is coming from Russia too.
Yeah, it's coming, and it's back around 2014 because I believe that's when Craig Woolheater, didn't he write a report up?
Yeah, right.
On this and an opinion or whatever.
Yeah, it's unfortunate but there's a lot of 5-second analysts out there that listen to something. Oh, it sounds like this, therefore it's no good. So I understand that this is tainted, but on the other hand, maybe not.
Yeah, because of the buzz. But go ahead, let's play them first, and we can discuss.
There's 3 clips.
The middle one is the best.
I'll play them in order here. This is the first one.
Yeah. Now that one's most similar to what I've recorded, Tristan and many, many other people. But you can also hear kind of a guttural. I mean, do you hear the guttural, almost throat-like signature on that?
Well, that even really sounds like a purr. When we're talking about a purr, that sounds more like a purr to me.
Like a little more like a purr, right? But it's got a little growly in it, though. It's
it
growl.
does.
Play it one more time, Jeff.
Oh, the first one. Okay, let me go back.
A little growly in it. Okay, perfect. All right. Now,
inhaling and exhaling.
That's what I was going to ask. Is it on the inhale or on the exhale?
Yeah, it sounds like the deeper parts on the inhale.
okay. It's a good observation, Kenny.
That's important.
Or one or the other. It sounds. You can tell it's on an inhale and an exhale the way it's doing it.
why that's important is that it intimates that there's maybe air sacs involved, where it's pushing air.
And people in chat, we really do need your comments on this stuff. So just keep your comments coming. A lot of times when there's good stuff on the screen, the comments kind of quick because people are focusing on the content. But if you guys have comments, please, we'd love to hear them. We'll put them up. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's 2 more. So if you
All right, here's the second one.
Sounds feline to me. I don't know. Just my opinion.
Yeah.
It has a purring sound to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
Like it's eating or something. Why? And it's excited, and it's
Like about an 800-pound cat.
yeah, like a huge cat. Like
Exactly. Like a huge cat. Yes, exactly.
My wife's thinking I used to snore like that when I was drinking.
God, now we know why
There
we
we
love
go.
you so much, Kenny.
Yeah.
Just whatever comes into your mind, that's just what's coming right out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
May as
I
well
love it.
finish up the third one.
Yeah,
Sure,
do
I
the
got
third-
one more here.
Third one's the weirdest. It's almost like it's going purring or the buzz, and then it says saying something like ransom.
It sounds like you're hearing a heartbeat, like through when they put a thing on your chest, and you're listening for the heart.
Yeah,
The
like
blood-
uncanny.
That kind of sounds
Yeah.
like
Blood flow.
blood flow.
Blood-
Yeah.
Go ahead and play it one more time, Jeff.
Same one? Sure.
Yeah. I hear a word in there.
maybe
I
it's
like-
lapping up water as it's drinking.
Maybe it's
good
got a
night,
cold.
Will. No, it sounds like I hear a word in there. It sounds like, do you hear a word kind of in there, David?
You probably next week I should send you all of the clips because it's talking, and
Well, do you have one you want to play? That's just
no, I don't.
no, I don't.
Oh,
That's not the right answer, David.
I was curious, is there a full clip of like are these just like little snippets of something larger that we're
Yes.
hearing?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. It does this, whatever it is doing. It's eating food and making these sounds and talking. It sounds like for 5 minutes
Well, why can't we hear it?
because I didn't send Jeff any of those clips.
Oh, okay. I got that.
Other than the technical difficulty.
Other than the technical difficulty.
Just to make sure it was clear, all 3 of those were looped. I mean, it was one sound
Yes. Yeah.
looped
Right.
5 times. Just make sure everybody understands that.
Right. But the most important thing is that it sounds like that per category.
Yeah.
That we're tying some or connecting some dots here, possibly. So now this just drags it all across the other side of the planet to Russia area. So this was maybe an honesty. Supposedly, whatever this creature was, it was about 8 feet tall. It was coming in to a barn, and that's where they started leaving food out for it, and it would come for the food and at predictable times. So the gentleman left a recorder near the bait station or eating station and captured about 5 minutes of interesting stuff, sent it to Igor because he had known about Igor somehow, and Igor put it out to the public and it got panned right away. So this is just kind of resurrecting it a little bit. Maybe there's something to it.
Well, if it's eating and making that sound, that's an interesting correlation to.
Right.
Yeah, because yours was eating when it was making that sound too.
Yeah, theoretically, yeah. I mean, if it was eating and making that sound at the same time, yeah.
But it was just when I heard that for the first time, I'm like, that's something. there's something going on here. You know, I didn't want to drop it. It was unique to anything I'd ever heard before. And then we come to find out it's not unique. How many recordings, David, have you gotten from around the country?
20 minimum,
Yeah.
probably more.
Yeah.
And lots of stories.
Yeah.
You know, not everybody's recorded it, but they have and said
Stories
that
of it.
Yeah, they've heard it.
And one, well, there was one gentleman, I won't name him, but there was one gentleman that was like afraid to come out of his tent, as I remember, for a long time because of kept hearing that sound.
Right. That's the last one, Jeff. If somebody, I did an interview with this person because they were hearing it all night long and he was having a rough time with it. And I asked him if he could imitate it, and he hadn't heard Tristan's recording. So that was, I recorded my interview before Tristan came forth with the buzz that connected it. And I think you'll be pretty surprised about what you hear when he tries to imitate what he was hearing. I can't.
This is the one that's the Tristan Yolton
imitation? Don't. Yeah, we don't want to say his name.
Yeah, I didn't.
Okay,
I figured
good.
That.
Yeah.
Yep, the per imitation. Yep. All right, give me 1 second here. All right, here we go.
That's Tristan's. Sounds like Doug's recording.
What is the last? Okay, I missed something. What is the last sound we're hearing?
That's him imitating what he heard all night long that was driving.
Oh, that's him, the guy who heard it.
Yeah, I asked him during my interview with him, could you imitate the sound that you heard?
Okay.
He said yes. So
it's like a didgeridoo.
Yeah.
But now that I listen to it closer, it sounds more like Snellgrove.
Yeah. It's interesting. Okay.
Let's go to JAPG Wenatchee.
Okay.
This is John Andrews and Paul Graves, another great researcher that I work with. They had an incident where they were camping, where something had came into their tent area and created a huge ruckus. And about 10 minutes later, it creates this buzzing sound. Well, Paul had never heard that sound before, and he's been in the woods forever.
Oh, God, yes.
He's like 30 years experience, 30, 40 years experience.
He pretty much never comes out of the woods.
Well, yeah. He said, David, there's something else in that recording that John sent you that I would like for you to take a look at. And he said, whatever this sound is, seemed to make me drowsy and sleepy and content. And he thought it was really strange. Well, guess what? It's the HBP, hum buzz purr. Sounds kind of like a hummingbird sound.
Okay.
Was that one recording, David, or that was looped, wasn't it?
It was looped 3 times.
Okay. But it was quite a long one.
Yeah. I like to. Usually, what happens when I play a sound for somebody, they go, "Could you play that again?" So I like to play it at least 3 times. Sometimes it's real short. I'll play it 5 times.
Now,
but
somebody brought up an upside or like a June bug. I know they go upside down sometimes and start flapping their beetle wings.
yeah,
That does sound like it.
Yeah, it sounds like it, but it's the depth.
Yeah.
It's this is coming from something that's as big as a cow.
Yeah. It's not. I think we kind of know. I mean, there's a thing. It's basically the frequency that you pick up that a bug cannot produce that deep of a frequency.
Right.
If anybody, I should say Jeff. If Jeff can find a June bug wings or something on YouTube or something.
That's the way you do it. Yep.
Yep.
Sure, I can go look.
We do a spectrogram on it, and you can.
Well, no, he's gone.
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. If you have a moment, but that's kind of, and yes, they are similar. The skeptics go, well, that's a June bug, that's a hummingbird, that's a moth, that's a.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact it's always in presence of these mysterious other sounds like wood knocks and.
Well, we have an eyewitness, and I'd like to see if Jeff can pull this up so everybody can read it.
Yeah, we do have an eyewitness. Yeah.
Mrs. Caulfield of Harrison, BC.
Yeah, listen to this story, people, if you're skeptical. There's a direct connection.
Let's see here.
It's an article. An old article. From what year, David?
I think 1934.
1934.
Yeah, Tuesday, July 10th.
I can't read it, but maybe.
Mrs. Caulfield relates that she was washing clothes in a river when she heard a buzzing sound similar to that made by a hummingbird. I turned my head, she said, but instead of seeing a hummingbird, there stood a most terrible thing I have ever seen in my life. Well, guess what? It was a Sasquatch.
Yeah. She expected to see a hummingbird. Yep, and saw a Bigfoot. And that's old. That's an old article. There you go.
Yeah.
You start tying these things together. And the reason we're talking about it, because we're always on a call to get more recordings.
And all these recordings are in the same frequency range too, right? Like
no, they're all going to be a little bit different because they're different subjects, and I think that there's various ways that they could be making these sounds. That's where that air sac comes into play. So, the depth of cavity, the size of the creature that's making these sounds. Yeah. So they're all going to resonate just a little bit differently, but. So would a hummingbird, so would a moth. But there is an essential nature to the signature that I think will be consistent.
And then you get stories like Virac stories. That's exactly the sound that I heard and felt, the reverberation inside my ear. Now, we've heard that many times.
Mm-hmm.
That hearing this reverberation going on in their ear, even though there was no bugs around, they were hearing it like from far away, but yet their eardrum was vibrating. Inside my cabin while packing, the morning after being frozen. So eerie. So there you go.
Could we play the Karagaya low intensity throat singing? And it's a clip that has these throat singers that have the ability to sing or make sounds in 2 different harmonies, if you will.
Yep.
Some low and some high.
And before you play it, Jeff, Jay Fritz put up, sounds like calming sounds. Yes. And there's been new studies that are just coming out now about how humming has a whole bunch of health benefits, including curing colds, flu, that they claim that if you hum every day, that it will boost your immune system, which is fascinating. Once again, this is after the fact, after Tristan's recording, that these studies came out. And once again, it kind of fits. I love it when new puzzle pieces come and they just kind of drop in. They connect. What do you think about that, Tristan? The humming as a health benefit?
Well, I was going to mention, like David mentioned that Paul said that he had a calming sensation when he heard those. So that's and somebody's been talking about infrasound in chat, and when if infrasound, I'm not saying this is infrasound, but maybe
it isn't because we can hear it, but it could be the high end we are hearing.
Right.
There could be a low end component that we don't.
Okay,
hear.
David, you got to take note to the thing I just put up on the screen. The Shoshone tribe said Sasquatch would winter near their reservation in the winter. They would make purring noises wanting food.
Oh, wow.
We would then feed them.
There we go.
That's whatever. I obviously don't know your identity beyond that, but if you could send us more information you can send it to Doug. Super easy to remember, Doug at untoldradioam.com.
I wonder what John Mayanzinski would say.
Yeah, we don't know.
Well, he's I think affiliated with the Shoshone.
And now here's another connection that fits and drops right in. Whoops.
Yeah.
There's my email address, but I want to put this comment up. There we go. Autistic children will hum to calm themselves. And obviously parents will hum to their children. We've been all doing it for a jillion years to put our kids to sleep. But Christopher Noel is the one that had made noticed autistic qualities in Bigfoot. Mm-hmm. So once again, it just kind of drops right into that. It's two puzzle pieces. We don't know if, they're really a mate, but God, it just seems like a lot of coincidences here.
So, the samurai chatter from the Sierra Sounds. I've tied a clip with the throat singers to what Ron Moorhead recorded, and I think you'll hear some of the similarities in that.
Okay. Whoa, we got another big lead from the same person. You obviously have a lot of info. You need to get a hold of either me or David.
Look at that. Yeah.
John Mayanzinski, who I used to know really well. I've gone camping with him. John Mayanzinski, in his 72nd encounter, heard purring. After interviewing the Shoshone tribe, he found out about the purring.
There you go.
John is I would have to put him in the top 1% of the people, smart people I've met. He's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he doesn't tout it. He just is.
And John appears in the actual Monster Quest pilot, the real King Kong. Giganto. It's called Giganto, the real King Kong. Yeah, Mayanzinski's in that. Yeah, and he was a good friend with Jeffson, or is a good friend with, or was good friends with Jeff when Jeff was still alive and with us.
So the throat singing, I think you will hear some.
Yeah, go ahead now. Sorry, David.
Buzz qualities in the throat singing itself, and then listen for the Ron Moorhead at the very end. You'll hear it making similar sounds.
Okay, here we go. Interesting.
Isn't it fascinating? There was another real interesting post here. My grandpa concurred, same just now with the Iroquois.
Wow.
So we would love
So
to talk
with
to you
food?
guys more about any knowledge you have, any old knowledge,
Yeah.
new knowledge, anything would be very helpful. So
Well,
Sounds
we
like
haven't
if food
found.
is involved.
say that again, whoever said that.
Well, I was gonna say it sounds like if food is involved, with these native tribes and Bigfoot, maybe there's something to that.
So what's going through your mind when you're hearing these things about John Mayenzinski and then the Shoshone information? That's some pretty powerful, interesting, this one, information. I mean, that's, David, what are your
Yeah,
thoughts?
I think some heavy duty dots are connecting here.
I mean, that's kind of heavy duty. Shoshone tribe and Sasquatch would winter near the reservation in winter. They would make purring noises, wanting food, and then we would feed them. Wow.
So it makes you wonder about other native tribes out there and what they know and what they've been talking about.
Yeah.
Right.
Correlation going on.
So I want to get Kenny. You're hearing all this. What are your thoughts hearing this info?
I think when they're doing that purring, it sounds like they may be very content. Like I noticed the cats when we used to have a pet cat, when it wanted food or something, you could hear it purring.
Yeah.
I think they're content when they're doing that sound.
Well, do cats purr when they're hungry or when they're getting fed?
It just seems like when they come up and want something, they come up and rub on you and purr
okay.
like they're
Buttering
wanting
you
to
up.
Yeah.
Tristan, you got a cat right there. What do you? What,
Yeah,
what do
man.
you-
Like my cats, they always come at us wanting food, and then and like I said, they try to butter you up by coming up to you and rubbing against you and things like that. So it's yeah. Actually,
Okay.
Kenny, do we have Kenny's recording? Because I don't know
All
if
right.
I've ever heard that.
Stop the truck right now.
Oh,
So Hillary just posted, there was a story on Dixie Cryptid about a young boy who was lost and found a female Bigfoot who purred, and it caused him to quit crying and go to sleep.
There you go.
content.
David?
The list keeps getting longer.
Yeah. Okay, now let's just go to Will for a second. Will?
Yep.
You don't know anything about any of this. What are your thoughts?
I think it corroborates each other. I mean, the Iroquois and the Shoshone both, talking about the same things. And like I said earlier, how these creatures are supposed to be able to mimic the animals. I mean, they are very smart, so they would see how when cats purr, they get the attention of humans. So maybe they put two and two together, said maybe we should be out here purring and maybe they'll feed us. It's not too far-fetched to think that they saw that behavior and learned it and took it to their advantage. That's what I'm getting from that.
And
Do we know if any primates do that, like gorillas?
Yeah,
We
do.
we got a clip here for you, Coco.
Yeah, we figured. This was 6 months ago, maybe longer. We're like researching whether primates or gorillas purr, and found out they did. And it's like
there you go.
bingo, 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 ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
You want to play that, Jeff?
Yep, here it is.
It's a little crude, but you get the gist of it.
Yeah.
Let's play the elephant rumble too, because I want to make another little connection.
Give me 1 second. Here we go.
I have to up the volume. Okay, so my connection is we know elephants make infrasound, but infrasound could be a portion of the vocalization. what we're hearing in that rumble, I think, would be the audible portion of probably what they're creating is an infrasound moment. And you would feel that rumble more than you would hear it.
Yeah, that makes sense. So do you think this purr is related to infrasound, or do you think maybe Sasquatch could produce infrasound as well? Or...
I think it's possible in the because it makes things contented, if you will. Right. It has. We know that certain frequencies of infrasound can do that. We also know that certain sounds of infrasound can be very frightening and make the situation more intense. It just depends upon the frequency, which I'm sure they know and understand and can use it.
Like if they want to get a deer or an elk or something, they might.
Yeah, if you want to stunt
for those purposes.
Yeah.
There's a couple of comments I want to read. They're kind of important. Cat's fur between Jim here. Hold on. Jim Zachman says cat's fur between 25 and 150 hertz and are believed to promote healing benefits in humans, mainly lowering stress and blood pressure. Then we got another really interesting chat. The Shoshone would fill up buckets of food, put it on the porch after hearing the purring. The Sasquatch would then take the bucket and drop it off empty days later. Jeez, it's like, okay.
So are all of these comments going to be available in the?
Yeah, they're permanent. Yeah, we can look them up.
Okay, so
yes.
I'll be able to go find these.
Yes, you'll be able to watch a show and then copy and paste them.
Yeah.
Right into an email. There's another one. It says somebody said these similar recordings or these recordings might be a good subject for a segment in Sasquatch Legend Meets Science too. Oh yeah, we're all over that. That's what we've been working on. Yeah, it's a good idea, but we're just a little one step ahead of you because it's fascinating.
I know I mentioned this to Doug a little bit earlier in a chat message, but I'm curious if Ron Moorhead and Scott Nelson have heard the buzz or hum in those recordings, because if those Sasquatch are so close to the audio, to the mics, I would think they would have to capture something like that after hours and hours of recording up there.
Right. Yeah,
that's just my theory on that, but I don't know for sure. You would think they would maybe capture something like that if they're so close to the mics. So I don't know. I don't know if Ron's ever captured or heard that himself.
Well, here's another comment from a completely another person. This is Mel.
Mel, we know Mel.
Mel, hey Mel. By the way, Mel is like amazing.
Yeah.
He is a brilliant man.
Yep.
He's Native American, but he's like super brilliant. He's also the one that helped conduct the hypnotism on Bob Gimlin, which is online, which was, genius. But he says, last fall, I was in my tent when the other campers were at the main camp, when one individual came running up the hill, stopped at my tent, stood right outside the tent wall, and heard what sounded, I think he was going to finish what sounded like what we're playing. Like his stomach growling. There you go.
Interesting.
That's really interesting, Mel. Thank you for... If you have any more comments, Mel, on this, what are your thoughts, Mel, on just, I don't know how long you've been listening, but on these purr sounds, we'd love to hear your opinion. There's another person that is just chiming in, purring, very interesting. Yeah, thinking, exactly. All right, go ahead. Sorry, David.
That's okay. I think we've pretty much covered it. We have a Carl Supp. I have a recording from him.
Yeah, you can play.
I don't know. Is Carl coming in, or do you want?
Yeah, he's going to, but any minute now
he's here. What was
Carl's
interesting?
backstage.
Oh, he's here. Let him in.
All right, welcome, Carl.
Knock, knock.
Let me in.
How long have you been knocking?
He just came in.
Oh,
good to see you, Carl.
You just came in, Carl?
I did.
Okay, I'm going to tell the story because from my perspective, Carl was a curator of many tapes and audio recordings that were on VHS tape from the Sales farm ranch or homestead that, lots of people would, because they recorded some Bigfoot footage, which to me I felt was authentic because of some of the gliding I saw, the smooth walking, the huge size, blah, blah, blah. There were many reasons I thought it was real. But then one night, I don't know, it was like 3 episodes ago, Carl is playing VHS tapes from the sales site and some of the audio that was captured. And these were captured what year?
They were captured between 2001 and 2006.
Yes. Okay. So a long time ago, long before any of this. And all of a sudden he plays the tape and there's the buzz. and I got excited because it helps, basically like that other Russian tape, it helps qualify all of the material as authentic. Because if they were just faking stuff, they wouldn't have captured the buzz.
Right. Well, and the buzz on this recording actually, was infrasound. It was a modulation between 16 and 18 hertz. And then as I was trying to piece it, because there was another individual talking on there, and I was trying to work out that piece of audio. And then, but as the more I worked on cleaning that up, the more I got really ill working on that. And finally I had to walk away, and then I felt better. I went back to work on it a little later after dinner, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so I was like, something's weird in
like
this.
Nausea?
Right?
How did you feel?
Oh, it was
Carl?
it was like almost like somebody punched you in the stomach a little bit, but you're dizzy and disoriented.
Wow.
And so I start looking at the whole spectrum on it, right? And then that's when I noticed this modulation down below 20 hertz. So I took that and I just kind of cut it out, and then I worked on it. I didn't feel any ill effects, right? So I sent that clip of just the modulation out to the other researchers that had worked on the Cells site. And when they played that at their house, and one of them in Oklahoma, one in Texas, everybody felt ill effects from it. Okay. the same kind of feeling. Right. And, so then I took that clip and I bumped it up into the audible range, and that's what you'll hear. You've got that.
This is fascinating because how many people totally got sick from this tape?
Probably about 6.
Six people got sick, and we're about to play.
Yeah, so why are we listening to it?
This one's safe.
We're going to play it. Well, it's nice knowing
Anybody
you.
eat dinner?
No, and this is safe because obviously I couldn't even hear the original copy. I bumped it up into an audible range, so I pulled it up so it could be heard. So this is what it sounded like. So,
all right, here we go.
Play that again. Play that again. Holy camole, that's a capture. That's me.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Wow. Turn up your volume at home, please. Wow, Carl. What year was this?
So
this was, I think, off of 2000.
I think that tape was from 2004 or 2000.
This is years and years before anybody mentioned the
Oh yeah.
I'll play it again. That's a great clip.
Play that again. Holy camole, that's a capture. Wow, Carl. What year was this?
2000.
That was 2000. I think that tape was from 2004 or 2000.
This is years and years before anybody mentioned the
Oh yeah.
Yep, 2004. Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, and not only that, but it was completely inaudible. Nobody knew that was on there, until I started, reviewing the tapes and trying to pull some of the voices out of the other part of that audio, and but the funny thing is I've actually I've been hit with infrasound several times doing research, and the funniest one was when I was in the suburbs of Chicago, in a forest preserve, and this one started doing infrasound, but actually was, I want to say maybe it was at 24 hertz, so I could hear it, and it went, just like, and then I couldn't hear it, but I could feel it, right? And I laughed, and I said, you don't have to do that to me, right? and it stopped. It stopped, hitting me with the infrasound. So, but in New York, on Long Island, it actually continued doing the infrasound, and that was the first time I'd really gotten blasted in the woods with it. And I mean, it sent me to my knees. I felt like I was going to pass out, and then I finally just got the words out, "I'm a friend," and it stopped. It felt like this, sack of concrete that was laid upon me just lifted. So, and I left the woods after that.
Well, everybody knows how to take you out now, Carl.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, some people, I think, are affected by it, and others aren't.
Yeah.
So if you can hear the infrasound, does that mean it won't affect you in the same way if you don't hear it? I mean, if it's at a lower frequency? If it's audible to you, does it have the same effect? I mean, it sounds like that's different.
Yeah, it didn't, whatever he was doing, I'll say 30 hertz down to 20 when he started, and then it dropped into inaudible, but I could still feel it, Okay. But yeah, I could feel it, but it certainly didn't feel, it felt different than what that recording clip had. And it certainly felt way different than what I felt when I was on Long Island. Long Island, it was like, I'm going to hurt you. That's what it felt like.
Yeah. Do we have any other recordings from the sales site handy?
There are some. I think I
Jeff?
sent over to Jeff.
Do I?
Yep. They were in the email. I sent an email earlier today.
Oh, let's see here. I guess I didn't see that.
It was before the show started.
Oh, okay. Let me do some digging here. Sorry, I didn't know that.
Give Jeff a little dig time.
So what Carl has sounds like that's an infrasound, possibly example of infrasound that they could probably produce, which might be a little bit different than the per sound.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If the per sound was above 20 hertz, it's not infrasound. But and I don't know, if where that clip is, because like I said, it bottomed out at 16 hertz. And I think that may have been a limitation of whatever recording devices the researchers were using at the cell site, where it just, but it was 16 to 18 hertz modulation in there. And you can even hear in that recording too, it's very organic. I mean, it was, where it's almost like you can hear like like the vocal cords wavering in it. I mean, it's interesting. So.
Okay. And by the way, they did talk. They had a whole show on that on Chris's Real American Monsters show, like just a week ago, or about a week ago. And then so here we're getting to Kenny now. Kenny, we got the spotlight on you.
Oh gosh, that's scary.
And I don't know, and David, I would imagine you sent Kenny Hess's.
No, I did not.
Oh, you didn't?
I have 3 clips from Kenny here. You're looking
for
audio?
Kenny sent them to you.
Yeah, Kenny sent
them. I sent them to Jeff. Yeah.
Yep, I got 3 here. So this
Let's
first
play
one.
Kenny's. Kenny recorded this where, Kenny?
This was in Canal State Forest in West Virginia.
Okay.
And then there's a Bruno howl that I gave Jeff. It's real famous West Virginia. Monongahela did it.
Well, can you just tell us a brief story of how you recorded this sound?
Okay. Well, I have an audio app for my cell phone. I keep my cell phone on my chest. I have a backpack and I got it strapped on my chest. and that's how I record my audio. I need to do better. I need to get one that goes up on my hat to where you can't hear me walking through the leaves. But that was what we got that day. We was on that trail. I took a little break because it was uphill, and we sat down. I got a little dizzy, and I think it was more related to me than it was the infrasound or whatever I heard, the humming and the metallic noises. We got up from our break and let's pushed it on up the trail. Like I said, it was uphill. We take our time, and we started hearing this metallic noises, and we stopped and was listening to that metallic noises. The encounter lasted about 5 minutes. When we got to, there was a certain point there, we got a brief hum that lasted about a second, maybe a little longer than a second. And that was all that lasted, with that hum, per sound. Almost sounded like Carl's, except it was audible. We could hear it. I heard 2 soft thumping noises, like a modern day car door shutting, not like the old where you hear people saying they could hear a big car door slam. Well, I heard like 2 smaller thumps, like just a door just softly shut. And then Dave, my wife and I, we heard something on the hill. Dave thinks it might be canine, it might be a dog, but that was the encounter we had with that experience. I got an audio where I got a possible vocal too with I sent Jeff. So there'll be an audio for a vocal recorded, and then we'll have a hum, and we'll have the vibration, the hum, and the metal noise.
Okay, so this one we'll do the let's do the one that says called suspicious vocal. We'll play that one first.
Yeah, yeah. On the when you get to the hum, remind people to turn their audio, their sound up a little bit, because I'm not sure it'll be as loud as what Carl's was, but you can definitely hear it.
Okay, this is the one called suspicious vocal.
That'd be it. That's not on loop. It's right at the beginning. Just play like the first 6 seconds is all you got to play if you want to loop it a couple of times.
Okay.
All right, next.
Yeah, that was a response I got from my call I made, and we got a more aggressive call before that one, and Connie turned her phone on. It was an iPhone that was before I started carrying recorders. This was years ago, and she picked that up with her iPhone, that sound.
Kenny,
yeah,
you actually glazed over the vocal of interest. Wasn't that short howl? It was what sounded like a car horn. And
yeah,
that's the horn vocal that I didn't know about until Monongahela pointed it out to me, that was something that they were tracking on the East Coast in 2008, 2009. He told me about that because I sent him a recording that had it, but you captured it.
Yeah, that's on a different recording, Jeff.
Yep, I have that here. Yep, the horn. It says vocal, horn vocal. I've got that clip here too.
Yep, go ahead and play that
next.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it almost sounds like it's happening on the inhale.
Yeah, I don't know what it was doing. I never heard nothing like it.
Okay, I got one more here.
Yeah, this will be the hum. Turn your volume up.
You tell him, Kenny.
Wow.
That's a great. It's not exactly like all of the others, but it's definitely the same genre.
Yeah.
But you've gotten these recordings, this metallic horn sound all over the country.
Yeah.
Yeah. All this happened in 5 minutes.
Wow.
Yep.
And we turned around and left after that.
I get it.
Yeah. I've never heard nothing like that in the woods. I've been hunted and everything for years. Never heard nothing like it.
His hum recording kind of sounds like it's from far away from the audio recorder. Like it's not right up close to it like the other ones. So maybe it's actually...
I was actually looking up because I was leaning against a tree and looking up the hill, and I actually looked around both sides of the tree because that humming, that metallic noise was coming from different places. Okay. And I kind of come back around the tree and was still looking up the hill. And when I heard that humming noise, I was looking up for some reason. And then right afterwards, I asked Connie, I said, "Did you hear that?" And Connie said, "Yes, she heard the humming too." So that was a weird day. That was weird.
Jeff, can you just some new people that have joined, quite a few. Could you just play the Snow Grove hum?
Sure.
Just to kind of familiarize people again. And maybe one of the Russian ones.
All right. This is
one that my team recorded up at Snow Grove. I can't remember if it was last year or the year before.
I think it was the year before.
Yeah.
Here we go. This is the Snow Grove.
You're my age every year, smears. And we have like a lot of this, like hours of it.
It's like a bullfrog.
Yep. But it's not.
That's why I think it sounded kind of like a bullfrog.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does, because he's looping it. That's why.
Yeah.
It wouldn't if he didn't loop it. But we've got like all sorts of it. We just picked one.
I have looked at a bullfrog, and although it's similar, you can see that it's different because it resonates in different locations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying it.
No. I've already told Doug. I said the skeptical point of view is going to say that that's a bullfrog.
Yeah.
And that one was recorded very close to the microphone.
Do you want to tell them about the number of bullfrogs you've seen up at Snellgrove?
Yeah, 0. Yeah.
Okay.
I would have known if there's bullfrogs up there.
800-pound
way up north. You have to be flown in, dropped off.
What, the bullfrog does?
No, us people.
Introducing new species up there.
Yeah, the bullfrogs would be bigger up there.
Yeah, and then if anybody just kind of joined, we've discussed this. Is it the Zimzum people? Somebody had connected the dots on this buzzing, and then there was a group of giants called the Zimzum, or derived from the word Zimzum, which means buzz. But there was a whole race of giants. Apparently, it's written. Where is this written? Is this biblical? This story?
It might be. I mean, the buzzword is from Hebrew. So
yeah, it's a Hebrew word, and it comes from a race of giants, and the Zimzum word means buzz.
Right.
And these are the stories that have been passed down by giants. And so you can look that up.
I'll put a link to the video. I did it earlier, but there's a link to that video.
That'd be awesome. And it's the race of giants was called ZUMMIM. I have no idea how to pronounce it. Zamzuman.
Zamzuman? That's pretty good.
Which sounds buzzy. The zoo. It's got all those Z's in there. And yes, Bigfoot loves Coke and Pepsi. Mainly the zero sugar kind.
Yeah.
I thought Bigfoot was a root beer fan. I don't know.
Yeah. It's hard to find root beer.
Beef jerky for sure.
I know they like whiskey.
Are you being serious?
I'm being totally serious.
Yeah, he told that story.
Yeah.
Carl, you've told me so many things that my head explodes.
I remember that story, Carl. It's a good story.
Yeah, I'll tell it quickly. But my friend and I had taken a friend who had for 10 years had heard me talking about Bigfoot, and I took him up to the woods, and that evening we're sitting around the campfire, and I knew they were in and near the campfire, near the camp, and I purposefully set up my chair so I was backed up to this brush that came really close to where the fire ring was for the campfire. So just totally gave them complete control, right? I'm not, my back completely exposed, but my friend is sitting at about, to me, probably like a 9 o'clock position. And pretty soon I heard heard some footfalls in the brush behind me, and I told my friend, I said 6 o'clock, and he goes, yep, I heard it, and we were sitting there and we were just keep talking, and he's like, what do I do? And I go, just pretend like, you don't care, and because it's like I didn't care, and that's how I kind of approach everything. But I had brought a bottle of Maker's 46 out, and I had poured my friend a pour, and I had one, and we were just sitting there sipping on it. But then he was ready for another pour, so I uncorked the bottle, and as I'm pouring his, the brush behind me shakes, and I did, without turning around, I said, oh, would you want one? And then the brush shook again right behind me. So I took my glass, I poured myself more, and then I just reached behind like this without looking around. I looked, and I reached back, and I could hear something coming through the brush. I'm assuming a hand, and I was mentally prepared any moment it was going to take it right out of my hand, right? And then I heard the hand withdrawing, and I was like, and I brought my hand back, and I just said, I held it up, and I said, I'll leave one out for you on the kitchen table. And then we just sat there and talked the rest of the evening, and I think it was right behind me listening in. So then right before I went to bed, I poured one, set it on the table, and went to bed. And in the morning I came out, and the glass was sitting there empty.
Okay, folks, you've just witnessed the first Bigfoot story of a man giving a Bigfoot a cocktail.
Only here on Untold Radio.
Only here on Untold Radio.
That's right. It was Maker's 46.
Maker's 46.
Good
there
stuff.
you go.
Very
Good
particular.
Yep.
That's fascinating. I mean, it's a fascinating story. I just kind of whatever, Carl. That's Carl Supp right there. He gave Bigfoot a cocktail.
Strange stuff happens to me. Trust me when you go out there.
Kenny, how would you rate Carl's story?
I used to have a drink out in the woods every now and then when I was younger. That would be wild. I don't know how to explain that one.
At least I had a witness. You know.
Oh,
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah, no, I'm not doubting you. I'm just giving you. It's just such a fun story or an encounter story. The fact you heard all these, footsteps coming towards you.
Oh yeah.
And I've heard that too, and it's actually quite loud and quite distinct. You feel the ground vibrating.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I love it. Oh yeah. And then you offered a cocktail. Nice going, Carl.
Well, it asked for it. And I said, "Oh, you want one?" You know. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, years ago, we used to catfish all the time. We'd be out all night catfishing, but we never had a Bigfoot experience. But we went through a lot of beers.
Yeah, I don't drink much, you know, especially when I'm up there. But you know, just one or two, and it's like, you know,
yeah,
I haven't done it in a while, a long time. But
yeah, I retired from alcoholism back in the 90s.
All right, Jeff, you haven't commented on Carl's cocktail story.
I remember the story. He told me this. He's told
Well,
me
then
the
what
story
did you
in
think
person.
then? I don't remember that.
Oh, he might have told. Did you tell it on the show or did you tell me in person? I can't remember which. But
Probably in person. But what are your thoughts, Jeff?
Could have been. Yeah, and we were sitting one night, but that's a great story. I love it.
Just love it. Okay.
Better hope that Bigfoot's not a mean drunk. That's all I got to say.
I'm thinking.
Did you find the glass? Was the glass gone? It was empty.
No, the glass was empty. The glass was still sitting there.
Empty. Nothing.
Empty. Yep. I know.
Did you dust it for prints?
No. In fact, I was so excited in the morning, I actually picked it up to show my friend, and then I went, "Oh my God!" I was like, "What the hell was I thinking?" Yeah. So,
no, your prints are on it.
Right. Yep.
Well, there's a lot of animals that like alcohol, so it doesn't surprise me. In fact, most mammals enjoy alcohol because a lot of them, and then a lot of animals gorge on fermented fruit that's fallen and started to ferment.
There's hilarious videos of that if you look around.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Everything from primates. They love to get a little hammered under the beer-bob.
The drunk raccoon in the liquor store. Remember that one a few months back?
I remember that. Yeah.
Yep.
So there you go. Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
I was just waiting for you to go. I have a recording of the audio after he had the drink.
Oh yeah, no, I wish I did.
People are going to be gifting Bigfoot that kind of whiskey now.
Yeah.
Joshua here. Oops, wrong one. Joshua mentioned he had found a big, huge turd full of mulberry seeds. Yep, they leave some big piles. The problem is most people don't touch them.
Right.
And if you do come across a big scat pile, you don't need the whole scat pile. You might grab a little tiny bit of it. It doesn't take much. A little tiny, in a baggie. Right? You don't
and then do what with it?
You would freeze it and then save it for at some point soon when there's a breakthrough and you've got 30 scientists calling for samples. You can go, I got a scat sample. And I've had it for 10 years frozen.
Yeah, why not?
Somebody might open it accidentally thinking that somebody bought some Hershey's.
Yeah.
Into it,
Who wants some ice cream?
Right. It's the $100,000 bar. Yeah. Don't mind the nuts.
All right. Where else are we supposed to go now? Kenny? Are we done with Kenny's sounds?
Yeah, he had the three that we played all three of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got that Monongahela's. I think I sent you maybe a picture of some orbs. An orb I got too.
This show ain't about orbs, Kenny.
I know. I see orbs all the time.
Are you trying to cool our vibe here?
Well, I'm just trying to trick you a little bit.
I thought, yeah.
I didn't know what all I needed to send, so I just sent the whole ball of wax.
Just sent the whole ball of wax.
Yeah, he's got a lot of stuff here. I don't the orb one. I'm not sure which one that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, save it.
Yeah, we got him.
David?
Yes.
Any
Present.
other, or Carl, did you, I don't know who sent the sales sounds. How many other sounds do we have from the sales
there's like 5 or 6, I think.
Oh, we can play them real quick.
I didn't get any other ones from you, Carl.
Really?
I'm looking right now. I just got that one.
Carl, you forgot Jeff lives in a just one up dimension from us.
I don't know about that, but I'm sorry. I didn't get any emails from you.
Okay. Huh.
No emails?
That's
Well, one, but it was not sounds.
okay.
Well, what was it? A formula for a cocktail?
No, it was a joke.
Oh yeah. Okay, you got that one.
I got that one. But I didn't. That's the only one I
Well,
got.
Carl,
for you
just
today.
hit send.
Oh, it said failed.
That would explain it.
That would explain it.
Mystery solved.
Yep. All right.
Anyhow, do we have anything that you do have, Jeff, that you'd like to play?
I think we've kind of. I don't think I have any other audio.
Okay.
I don't think I had a mountain of stuff here today. I think that was it for audio.
I got that audio for them West Virginia house from Monongahela. If you want to play them, those are awesome.
Yeah.
That was right after my first 3 calls I sent you.
Yeah, I just see here. I just got the 3. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just got the 3 here that we just played from Kenny.
That would be the 4th one. It was the 4th one. The first 3 were from David's.
Okay.
It would be the 4th one I sent you.
All right. Well, let's see here. I've got. I'll look here. I got a bunch of stuff here. Yeah, I'm not seeing any other audio.
Do you have the percussive voice audios?
Did we not play that one? Let's see here.
Well, no, it's 11 cuts.
Let's see here. I got a lot of stuff here. Let me see here.
From David.
That's okay, because that's kind of along the hum buzz purr thing. I'd like to do a whole.
I would
segment
love to
with
play a
that.
couple before we wind up here.
Oh yeah, that one. That one, David. It got corrupted. The email got corrupted here.
Oh, okay, all right.
Let's see here. I'm trying to make it work. Yeah, I'm sorry. I got just a mountain of stuff emailed to me today, and I was trying to sort through it all.
Sure, that's okay.
Save it for next time.
Yeah, I'd like to spend about an hour on that topic.
Yeah, for sure.
Whenever we can squeeze an hour in to talk about it, because it's like that hum buzz purr thing. It's one of those genre type sounds that are being recorded all over the country. That it's percussive sounds in a speech like rhythm.
Let's see here. What was the file? What is there a file name of one that you like? I might be able to pull a couple out of here.
Oh, well, Tilda the orangutan.
Oh, we don't want to hear Tilda.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, that one I can play. Yeah, okay, here we go.
Tilda.
New research suggests a female orangutan that calls a German zoo home is believed to communicate with her keepers in human-like manner. Named Tilda, she doesn't rely solely on her natural sounds to attract a person's attention, but instead she often mimics what are thought to be human vocalizations. Tilda appears to show speech-like patterns by both controlling her lips and tongue, as well as manipulating her vocal folds. In order for her to produce the consonant-like noises, the orangutan clicks her tongue, which in turn creates varying tones. This vocal action is similar to how humans pronounce consonants, such as B. In another one of her calls, she produces grumbles in a way that is comparable to how we make vowel sounds. According to the study, Tilda only makes these sounds during feeding time when zookeepers are with her, and often adds gestures, such as pointing to the food. Researchers use both audio and video recordings to study her communication methods. The lead author of the paper that is now published in PLOS ONE told Discovery News, "It is our belief that Tilda learned to produce these calls from humans while she was in the entertainment business."
Cool.
Okay, so there's another Tilda.
Oh, here it is. Yep. I'm sorry. Yeah, I apologize. This email got a little bit corrupted here.
Now, this is just isolating this particular percussive speech category that I'm investigating.
Okay, here we go.
All right, now if we can play some Bigfoot percussive, the similarity is quite striking.
David, I gotta say that sounds similar to your door handle.
Yeah, it does. The squeaky part. I just
well, no, the grumbling part. It sounds similar to that Tilda thing. In my opinion, I don't know. That's what
I agree.
Yeah, the grumbling stuff.
This one's called percussive voice, weird something or other. Okay, let's play this one here.
Okay, yeah, play that one. That's fine. Oh, weird vocal at the end. Yes.
Yeah.
Don, I was going to mention, Don said he has some drumming audio. Send it to either just put Doug at untoldradio.am.com. Super simple. And we will get it to David and we'll work on it.
Let's see here. I've got one more percussive voice one here.
Okay, what is the...
It's called Deep Percussive Voice 5 times loop.
Okay.
That
one. Let's see if I can get that one to come up. I can get some of them here.
I mean, they sound so big, David. They're really big sounding sounds. They sound like they came from some, big vocal cords.
Here we go.
That one's too faint, really.
Yeah.
Do
you have the RO9? Can you play that?
Let's see here. RO9. Yes. RO9 wave. Okay.
Yes.
Here we go.
Okay, that was recorded at Bumping Lake, Tristan. And it was, have you heard of the area called the Frog Pond?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So we were near the Frog Pond, two other witnesses and myself. I had a bionic dish. I was pointing in a direction. I was fairly certain that I was hearing something coming in that area or coming towards us from that area. And about 2 minutes prior to recording this, one of the witnesses in front of me starts to panic and he backs up really, really fast and into me, and he was frightened to death. And I said, "What's going on?" He says, "I just saw one move between two trees."
Uh-huh.
So it wasn't anything, but a minute later, I recorded this sound that we just played. And what's interesting is a couple of years ago, somebody heard it on a show that I was on a podcast, and they got in touch with me, and they related an experience that they were like 25 feet with a face-off with a Sasquatch, and it created this same exact type sound of clicks and puffs and puffs. And so we have an eyewitness that verifies this particular sound has potential of coming from a Sasquatch.
Yeah. And again, David, that sound even sounds similar to that car door grumbling sound. Like, I think there's a correlation there with that kind of talking or whatever.
Right. Yeah. And it was that was also recorded at bumping. So we got two sounds that are very similar. Could be the same individual.
Maybe, but yeah, that's very interesting. Interesting.
Anything
stuff.
more? Anything more?
There's one that's mostly clicks and pops, but have you heard tonight to talk about hearing thumps, like big whoops sounds? This particular audio starts off with a great big whoop.
Okay, play it.
Which one?
JC.
JC, let's see here if I can.
JC11.
Yeah, can I get that one? Yep, I pulled it out of there. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, the clicks and the pops, there's something to it. We've got recordings from all across North America, and we're getting more. And I think the more often people hear these kind of sounds, and oh, I've heard that. I've got that recorded. So we should be getting more. Loretta has recorded it. And,
oh yeah.
And then we just had another one. I don't want to say her name on air. I don't think I have the approval to do that. But there was another gal that sent a recording in this week that had that on it.
Now, Loretta's recordings were kind of insane. It was reacting to cars driving by.
Right.
And she has hours of it. The car would be coming and it would go nuts, and then it would drive by and then it would go nuts again. With very loud, very close to the microphone.
Right.
And didn't Linda's recordings also have the buzz?
Yes, I think so.
We just got another one from northern Minnesota of the buzz.
Right.
And we'll have to get them on at some point and
go
through that.
Happy to help with that.
Well, and Jeff, I sent those audio. Now you should have those for sure.
Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so let me get these downloaded here. Hold on a second.
We also have that ping sound too, right?
Yeah.
I forget who recorded that, but now we got that going on. The ping.
Right.
The ping, yeah. Where did we just heard that on? Was it Loretta's or Linda's?
No, it was somebody else.
Oh.
Okay, I've got Carl's Cell's audio here. Which one do you want to play, Carl?
Oh gosh, yeah, why don't you play the? I think it's a big guy. I think. Let me look at the email I sent you here. Yeah.
Yep. I got that one. There we go. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, it's so weird.
And then you can, if you do the one, well, we'll stay with the big guy. Let's do the angry one.
Okay. There we go.
That's it. That one. Yeah. The range on that is unbelievable.
Carl, have you slowed any of these recordings down?
No, that was not slowed down at all. That was,
no, I know that. I was
Oh.
just curious if you've listened to these at a slower speed.
I have not done that.
You might try that. I think you'll
Okay.
be surprised at what you're hearing. Sometimes, I think that Scott Nelson is correct that sometimes they speak at a different speed.
Oh, absolutely. There's one piece of audio from Cells, and I don't have it handy, but there's one actually talking at a standard rate. That's all I could say. And then you hear this, and that piece I actually slowed down, and it sounded just like
Right.
you know.
Right.
And I was like, holy cow! Like one's talking normal,
Is it
and
kind
one's
of a
talking
humming
it.
talk? Is it a bit humming, Carl?
It a little bit humming, but it was but not like the other humming recordings, but it was super fast, just like some, when I slowed it down, and I had to, it was like when I was a kid, and you had the Chipmunks record, and you put that on 16 speed on your, probably nobody knows 16 speed, and you hear, three guys singing perfect harmony in their normal low voices, but then all of a sudden you're playing at 45 and they're the Chipmunks, so it's funny. But yeah, and speaking of that, so there's one called Jibber Jabber, Jeff. I don't know if you can load that one up. There's a lot of language in that one.
Here we go. This one. Wow.
Yeah. Right.
Those are kind of, there's a lot going on there, Carl.
I know. I wish I
Now,
had a translator, pocket translator for it. Yeah.
Are you going to get these to David at some point?
Yes, I will. Yes, I will. David's reached out to me already. I'll get those.
Well, I'm reaching out right now.
Okay.
Get them to David, please.
All right. We'll do. But the one interesting thing, and I've talked about it on the other shows, was, that there's one audio called chanting, and the backstory on that one was, there was a chicken that had been killed,
Right.
and the next morning they found this chicken had been killed, but laid out on the ground like a little ceremonial offering or thing, right? And then on the tape from that night was this audio that's called chanting, and it's interesting because it's almost like a religious thing, because they actually repeat themselves with this whatever they're chanting,
Yeah.
So
And by the way, this is Carl's top 5 recordings.
yeah. Oh yeah.
These are great.
One of those sounds huge.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely. Massive.
Massive. I was going to say, kind of reminds me of the dinosaur thing. that
Yeah,
we
a
listened
little
to.
bit. A little bit. Yeah.
So Native Tracker says, okay, my doggo is listening now and whining. She normally doesn't react to odd cryptid sounds. There you go, Carl.
Yep, and we had my group of researchers had the same thing. Once I isolated these sounds and sent those off to them, they were like, "Oh, my dog went crazy listening to these." So
interesting.
Interesting.
If you can play
Say
that
what?
chanting one, you'll hear what I was talking about. But
And you have that? You have the chanting?
You should.
Okay. So just hang on, Jeff. So
All right.
Will,
Yes.
you don't normally get involved in sound. You're a history guy. You're into the history. But what do you think when you're hearing this stuff?
That last one sounded like demonic to me.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it?
Yeah, like
Alien-like. Like it couldn't even be done by a primate. It's so bizarre.
yeah, it's just like on a different level. Like I
Yeah.
said, I got demonic vibes from that one right there. I don't know. Could it be just be me though? Did anybody else in the group hear that? Or
Oh,
was
I
it
think
just
we
me?
all did. I mean, it's otherworldly, at least,
That's the word I was going to use.
Otherworldly.
Otherworldly.
You start words like ultra-terrestrial start going through your brain. When you hear this stuff, you're not thinking cars and cocktails.
Yeah.
You're thinking, oh, gee, where did that thing come from? What planet?
Convention, yeah.
All right, play another one.
All right, this one's called chanting.
Yep. That's a gate at the farm.
Are they opening the gate?
Yeah.
Thanks, Carl.
Yep.
Those were not looped.
No,
That
was
last
not looped.
tape, that was not looped.
Nope.
If we looped it, it would get really weird.
Yeah.
You mentioned a gate, Carl.
Yes.
Was it coming in or out?
It was going out. Well, it led into the area where that camera had been set up, but there was a gate that went from the kind of like the farmhouse yard out into the woods from there. So, and it was just a metal gate, that swung out. But you could tell on that second part of the thing, it was a further distant from the microphone than the first part. So,
has there been any destruction of any of the metal gates? I mean, like bending or anything like that? No. Okay.
No, they didn't have any of that kind of activity. My other, let's see.
Is this your last one, Carl, or do you have more?
Well, I've got more.
You were supposed to send 5. How many does Jeff have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8.
Okay. Well, just play them, and then Carl can read. Carl, you can let Jeff just
Yeah.
play whatever, and then you can react to them.
Okay,
How about
this was called. Go ahead, Carl.
Yeah, I was going to say, play the one that says like chained to tree. So what they did is they'd been setting out tires for the Bigfoots to play with, and they took them and they chained them to a tree so they couldn't get to play with the tires. And that night they destroyed the tree. They literally tore it limb from limb with this, and this was the vocals that went along with that destruction. So you can hear that. Yeah, they were not happy.
Do you know why?
Just their toys were taken away.
Okay, next one here is Chakaweha.
Yeah, Chakaweha.
That's what I'm going to have after the show.
I'm going to bed after the show. Here we go. Let's see here.
Yeah.
Was that a creature talking?
Yeah, I mean, and you could hear it right at the end. It went like "shoot the ha" or something.
Just play that last little tiny bit, Jeff. Just the very tail end. Right there. I think you didn't go far enough.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet.
We want to.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that
I'll play
was
it again here.
Yeah, back it up to maybe 40.
Keep
yeah.
going.
It's really
Right there.
quiet.
Right there.
Yeah.
Carl, did you ever compare the voices to the homeowners? I'm not saying that they were responsible for these, but what I'm thinking is that if they're capturing the tenor of the voice of the people that are around them, because it sounds almost like it's a real language.
Right. Oh, absolutely. In fact, it's interesting. The one of the Bigfoots on the property's name was Nashoba, and I believe that's the Choctaw word for wolf, which is interesting.
Right.
But there was there was a lot of Choctaw, I think, that mixed in with some of the thing, but certainly not all of those recordings. But no, the homeowners were not, and the researchers there were not. That's not their voice tenor, but
okay, yeah, because I was just wondering if they had been around them long enough to pick up speech patterns and
it's funny after spending hours editing and pulling some of this audio out of these tapes, there was where I could imitate it, like chakaweeha,
right.
But after you've listened to it 1,000 times,
right
but there's one more recording called Nashoba.
Yep, I got that one right here.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was clear.
Yeah, very. But and then you could hear, like, when they were tearing down the chains in the trees, you could hear kind of, there was a little, what I would say, monkey sounds, right? Like and that happens there's one more recording, juvenile Bigfoot in a tree. I don't know if you want to can load that one up.
Yep, sure. Here we go.
Yeah. So.
And they have video of that, if I remember correctly.
There is video that goes along with that. Yep. Yeah. In fact, all of these, was pulled off of some video. Now they're not the juvenile one. At least I think you can see the juvenile in the tree, but the other videos, they were like behind the camera, so you could hear them walk up, and in the longer version that I have of all the audio. So
many of these were filmed with a mirror.
Yes.
In a house using a mirror.
Yep. Like a dressing mirror you'd put on the back of your bedroom door, to get a full length view, and they just hang those and then point the cameras into those mirrors and that, and then capture everything going on behind the camera, which, was pretty smart. And, but the footage itself is remarkable.
Were the cameras outside aimed at the mirror or inside the home?
Outside.
Outside. That's so fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's something that people should try. Why not?
Yeah,
What's
absolutely.
it going to hurt?
Yep.
And why do you think that worked?
I don't know. I know they think that the camera is like an eye, and if the eyes look in this direction, it's, there's, it's not looking at them, but
but if they're at the right angle, they're going to see the eye in the mirror.
Right.
But that doesn't bother them. It's so interesting.
I don't know.
It's an experiment that needs to be conducted many other places.
Sure, absolutely.
And I'm not arguing. I think it was extremely creative.
Yeah.
Now, periscope, I think even more sophisticated systems could be done. You could actually build even a periscope out of cardboard. I used to build them out of wood, cardboard, and place it in front of the camera. It's just a mirror at a 45-degree angle.
Yep.
In that tube, and then the camera's aimed at the mirror, and the mirror is going out at a right angle. Why don't people do that with camera traps?
Yeah,
we should try it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
I think I'm gonna. I'm gonna sign that one too.
The mirror.
Adam.
Come up to the mirror.
That sounds like an Adam project.
Adam.
Yep, he's probably already on it.
But the mirror thing is fascinating, and I'm thinking about how it could be done even so much better with a simple periscope. I mean, you can buy periscopes because there's nothing to them on Amazon for $5. And why not just mount your camera on the ground even? Doesn't even need to be up high. Mount it on the ground, put the periscope in front of it, and suddenly there's no eye anymore.
Yep, that's true.
Tristan, what do you think?
Yeah, or even I was thinking about doing that for an audio recorder. Like you could put like those little microscopic, those little spy cameras or something that doesn't look like a regular camera. Maybe you could put that on an audio recorder.
Yep.
And they might not detect that as a camera. I don't know, because if it's not a regular looking lens or something.
Well, why not take the micro camera and put it in a periscope and really double down on it? Kenny, what do you think about all these recordings and the mirror thing? And
I think the mirrors would work. I like the idea of like using a seismic monitors and having remote operated cameras to work. Once you kick something in with your seismic monitors, and then you can click on a camera real quick and catch something like a thermal camera or something moving in.
They might think lenses are like a scope on a rifle or something like that. Maybe they kind of think of it like a gun.
Yeah, well, obviously, yeah, but I don't know if just go on Amazon tonight and look at periscopes. They're for kids, but it's just an open box with a 45-degree angle. You can make one with hot glue in a cardboard box in minutes.
Isn't the electronic noise though one of the things that people think is also something that Bigfoot are
like with trail cams?
They can hear it. They can hear the electric. Well,
those are all just what ifs. They're all just what ifs.
Yeah, and I mean, I hang up my remote audio recorders out in the woods, and sometimes 10, 12 feet up in a tree, and sure enough, 2, 3 in the morning, something's going and tapping on the microphone, and you're like,
yeah. How'd they find it?
Well, yeah, exactly. How did they find it? It's it's totally silent, hanging up in that tree, So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's going to be Periscope summer.
Yeah.
I think. All right. Is that all your audio recordings, Carl?
That was it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Those were Carl's top 5.
Excellent stuff.
We forgot to play the bumper, Carl.
Yeah.
You threw us off base when they were all corrupted. Anyhow, the email failed. But anyhow, we're gonna wrap it up. Everybody stay tight. We're gonna do our wisdom of the week, then we'll be back
right
for
back.
our wrap here.
Don't go anywhere.
No.
It's now time for Untold Radio AM Wisdom of the Week.
Your kids need more love than you think. Especially when they act like they don't.
The world is stressful and they feel it. Steady love can become their anchor. It tells them they're safe, they matter, and they're not alone. So say it more, show it more, because in the end, They'll remember how much you love them and not what you gave them. Good night. We hope to see you all next week. If you like the show tonight, please consider giving us a thumbs up, leaving a nice comment, and most of all, subscribing and hitting the bell so you will be notified when a new episode is dropping. Also, please share this episode. Now back to Doug and Jeff for our wrap.
Okay. Thank you so much. It was, people are saying it was a productive show. I like that.
Yeah. Lots of material.
That's why we do this. We just by sharing and learning and connecting dots. I've connected some dots tonight. It's kind of like the Periscope thing.
That's a great idea.
It hit me before, but now it's really hit me.
Yeah.
It's like, what is it going to hurt to try it?
You got to try something new, right? Because the same old doesn't seem to be working. So
and remember, you can buy a 12 by 12 mirror or any kind of mirror for $1, and you can get a glass cutter for $1, and you can cut squares. You can make many periscopes out of cardboard. You can spray them with urethane. You can waterproof the cardboard with simple polyurethane spray or whatever. I mean, get creative. And even cardboard will hold up outside, even in the rain. So anyhow, with that, thank you so much, Kenny.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Mr. Will Star. And tell us again where they can find all your small, beautiful documentaries, Will.
The YouTube channel is called Will Star Monsters and Mysteries.
And it is really, he does really good work.
I have a plethora of videos on there for you to enjoy.
Yeah, he does. How many videos? He must have hundreds up there.
Over 200.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
So, anyhow, thanks, Will. Thank you, David, as always.
Thank you.
We appreciate it, especially on Easter evening here. And Tristan, thank you for starting all this problems up that we're dealing with now on the hum and the buzz. But it's the dots are continuing to connect. Yeah. And Carl, you're amazing. Thank you for also taking your time and sneaking out of dinner and joining us. We really appreciate it.
No problem.
So good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, Jeff. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Happy Easter.
I call you up in the middle of the night, been bothered by dreams, ain't feeling alright. You give me comfort, say just give it some time. By the end of our talk, I'm feeling just fine. You and I will always know where we belong. This ain't no ordinary love we got going on. I pick you up in my 59 Ford. We head on down the road until we get bored. Just you and me and the sun and the wind. If the rain should stop falling, we'll head on home again. Everybody else can see where we belong. Oh, ain't no ordinary love we got going on. At the end of the world, together forever is one, and I'll wait if ever you should be